Yo, it's your boy DZ, man. You already know it's not about the setback, it's about the get back. I appreciate everybody that watches the channel. I appreciate everybody that subscribed to the channel. And I hope y'all continue to watch your boy. Now, today we're going to get right into it, man. Jay-Z lawyer speaks out. And he's letting it known about the relationship between Jay-Z and Puff. And I've been telling people for years, once you become an adult, all that friendship shit goes out the window. It's business. You see people around each other, it should be business. That friendship shit is juvenile shit, man. When you're an adult, it's business. Because when situations happen, you really see who your friends are. Nobody. Pay the fuck attention, man. Real shit.
Tonight, Jay-Z's attorney, Alex Spiro, is pushing to get a judge to dismiss the rape lawsuit against his client, citing an NBC News exclusive that found inconsistencies with the accuser's account.
We expect Mr. Carter to be fully cleared of all of this in the coming days. Almost nothing that she says has checked out because this never happened.
This in the wake of our interview with a 38-year-old mother from Alabama who accuses Jay-Z, whose real name is Sean Carter, and Sean Diddy Combs of raping her when she was 13 years old. She asked us not to reveal her identity.
What made you want to come forward?
Because I think that I've been quiet long enough.
She says that she might have some facts wrong, but that she says the incident happened. What do you say to that?
You know, anybody, when they make up a claim, they can just keep repeating it and getting it right. But you never get the details right. And what happened during her interview with you is that the story began to unravel.
On the night of the MTV Video Music Awards in 2000, she says Combs' limo driver took her to an after party. There she says she spoke to musician Benji Madden and his brother.
I'm talking to Benji Madden about his tattoo. That's the Last Supper.
In a statement to NBC News, a representative for the Maddens confirmed they did not attend the 2000 VMAs and that they were on tour in the Midwest at that time. At the after party, she says she had a drink that made her feel woozy. Then she says Combs and Carter both raped her. She says she ran to a gas station where she called her father, who picked her up.
We rode home in silence. She didn't ask me what happened.
In an interview with NBC News, her father said he could not corroborate her story. I feel like I would remember that, and I don't, he said. The woman revealed to us that she has autism and previously suffered a head injury. In a follow-up phone interview, we asked her about the contradictions, and she said that she stands by her statements.
This woman is standing by her story. It happened over 20 years ago. Maybe her memory is hazy. Maybe her father doesn't remember that night.
No, she's doubled down on certain of these details. She says, I'm positive. She points out the tattoo. She talks about the tattoo in vivid detail. Turns out that's completely false. And the father is supposed to be picking her up. 10-hour drive, round trip to pick her up in the middle of the night. Has no memory of that. No one has come forward about this in nearly a quarter of a century, and that's because this never happened.
Spiro said he's not only seeking justice for Jay-Z, he says that he also wants to expose the accuser's attorney, Tony Buzbee.
He takes away the voices from real victims, and he causes real harm. If this lawyer has any sense, he's going to dismiss this claim. I don't know whether he has any sense.
Buzbee, who has filed more than 20 lawsuits against Combs, told NBC News that he is continuing to vet the accuser's claims and that she has agreed to undergo a polygraph this week. A representative for Combs called the suit a shameless money grab.
Since your attorneys refiled the lawsuit against Combs naming Jay-Z, he has come out with a very long statement saying that this is completely not true and that this is all about trying to get money from him. What do you say about that?
I haven't asked for a dime from him. It's not everything is motivated by money, and I'm sorry that he feels that it is.
This woman also told us on camera last week that this isn't about money.
Well, let's be serious. A lawyer like this is not sending out these letters not to make money. He wants money and fame. He doesn't care about truth and justice, and that's what's going on here.
Chloe Malas joins us in studio. So, Chloe, explain this to me. The attorney for the plaintiffs, Tony Buzbee, right? He is sticking by his client, even though you've been able to report these inconsistencies and they are now out there in the public?
Yes, and because of our exclusive report here on Top Story, he's actually going to have Jane Doe do a polygraph test. He says he hasn't done it yet, but that they are going to be doing it this week. He also said in a statement to us moments ago that their conduct throughout all of this has been beyond reproach and will continue to be, even though that's not what you're hearing Alex Spiro, Jay-Z's attorney, what he's saying. Also, I just want to show you, Jay-Z's team created a timeline. Obviously, they are, even though this took place allegedly 24 years ago, right? They are saying that there is just no way that he could have been at the VMAs. He's on camera there until the end of the VMAs, which ended right after 11, and that there are photographs of him at the Lotus Club in Manhattan, and they say he was there till 3 a.m., and then he went to the music studio. So, again, they are adamant that
that he was not at that party.
That he was not at any sort of after party.
I do want to ask you this. What is Jay-Z's sort of legal team strategy in describing the relationship between Diddy and Jay-Z? Because there are a ton of photos of them over the years, obviously before these allegations came out.
And this civil suit, Tom, originally just named Combs, and then it was amended last weekend to include Jay-Z. What Alex Spiro said to me today is that although publicly Jay-Z supported Diddy, they were not best friends. They were not as close as you thought that they were. So in terms of knowledge of what went on allegedly at these white parties and what took place allegedly in these civil suits and the criminal charge and the trial, he says Jay-Z has no knowledge of any of that. Again, he publicly supported him as a fellow musician and someone where they came up together in the industry, but that they weren't as close as you thought.
Thanks for watching. Stay updated about breaking news and top stories on the end.
All right, now, see, I always say after a certain age, it's strictly business. And you see, now Puff is in a situation. I don't know if they were friends at a time or if it was just strictly business. But when you in a situation, nobody is backing you up, man. Nobody is coming to your aid to try to help you out of a situation that might can bring them down. So Puff is in this shit by himself. Whatever happened with this person that made the claims, I don't know if she had a dream or if this is real. But from what we see in the statement she made, it's not adding up to what she's accusing him of. So we really can't take the value of what she said to be a fact. Everything about her timing, when it happened, it's all questionable. And Jay-Z's lawyer spoke out about it, man. I can't even see the woman as being truthful. And I'm sure there's some victims out there, but I can't take her statement to be truthful as what she said, because everything sounds fishy. Nothing about what she says sounds solid. And you got somebody's life on the line now, somebody's reputation on the line. And she's really doubling down and standing behind what she said. And I'm hoping that they do the test of the lie detector. I'm hoping they do the lie detector test so that we can see what the lawyer comes out and says. And I'm thinking that when the lie detector comes out, they're going to dumb it down and have a reason why the detector is acting the way it acted. We already know that the test is going to come back fishy, man. And I can bet that. Because they're going to ask her all these questions about everything she stated, the time frame, her father. And I already know, man. It's showing us as the world that she's lying in this situation. And, you know, they already done tarnished the man's name. And the lawyer, I guarantee you he regrets this, man. What's going on, bro? I guarantee the lawyer is going to regret this when this comes out, because now he's going to be looked at as a lawyer that influences his clients to say things for financial gain. And we already know that this is what these lawyers do. They about the money. They wouldn't be filing a claim if they didn't feel that they can get money. Lawyers don't do things for free. So in this situation, we shall see. And in time, this week now, we're going to hold them to that. By Christmas next week, we should know all this information. And you know, Jay-Z lawyer is going to put in a motion to get the lawsuit dismissed. And honestly, I hope they dismiss it. And it's my opinion. I don't even stand behind somebody lying this way. Even if most of it would have sounded true, the world would have took it differently. But most of it sounds like a lie. All we looking at is that she's saying she's been assaulted. That's the only thing we looking at. We're not looking at the time frame of when she's saying it happened, where they done looked and seen that Puff didn't even own a house around that time with that type of driveway. They done said this. Come on, man. And now what I see people saying on different outlets is it wasn't 2000, it was 2003. Well, we have to listen to the victim. The victim said it was 2000. So now everybody wants to change the dates when the victim said it was 2000. Now it's 2003. Man, this is how you know that the world is real messed up. For somebody to be on that type of stage publicly saying that something happened to her, but you can't recall the exact dates, or nobody is backing up your story from your father saying, I don't recall that. Anybody would recall driving 5 hours, and they said it could have been 6, to come get you and 5 hours back. Anybody would recall that 5 hour ride. I remember everywhere I drove 5 hours there, and this is my entire life. Anybody would remember driving 5 hours. I don't care what you went through. You will remember driving 5 hours, sitting in a car, and the dad doesn't remember. Then, out of the blue, the person that took you there is dead. And from what we see, man, we can't trust the word of her. And we got to stand behind that, man. There's no way we can trust the word of it. And anybody that does something like this, they should be charged. And you know what's messed up when I see people saying, well, what about the real victims? If the real victims are telling the truth, they won't be charged. The fake ones will be charged. We can't allow things in the world to go through like this, and it gives people the room to make these kind of claims when they know they lying. This is why this is all started, because this been going on so long. When people make a claim and they're lying, it just come out like, oh, I'm sorry. Just like the girl did with the Duke lacrosse players. 14 years, or hold on, 18 years later, she comes out and says it was all a lie. And all those years, people believed it. Now, people that went to their grave, that then died in between that 18 years, and they believed this person. So anybody that does anything to disrupt somebody's life, as in lying on them in a criminal situation, civil situation, should be held accountable. And the world should be coming behind and making sure that we put an issue and push towards that. But we won't. We'll only complain about it, and we'll only put down the people that might be falsely accused. And it's like, I don't care about what kind of money they got and what they got going on. And a lot of people just want to go against them because they're financial. They're up. Nah, they did it because they up. I gotta see evidence, man. I'm not riding with nothing that's not factual.
10-year-old girl.
Real shit. We're going to check this one out.
Michonne Carter is now being accused of drugging and raping a 13-year-old girl at an after-party following the 2000 Video Music Awards in New York City. The lawsuit was originally filed in October against Sean Diddy Combs, now refiled to openly name Jay-Z as his alleged co-conspirator. Combs is currently behind bars pending trial on federal charges, including sex trafficking.
For Jay-Z, this presents a very difficult situation because unlike Sean Combs, Jay-Z doesn't have the opportunity to say that he's being charged criminally and that this civil case should be paused. Instead, this case could go forward and he would have to sit for depositions, argue, defend, show where his whereabouts were, and the light of day could be very damaging to him both in the court of law and the court of public opinion.
Jay-Z has been famously married to Beyonce for 16 years. They have 3 children together. Today, Jay-Z denying all allegations, saying in part, "My only heartbreak is for my family," adding, "These allegations are so heinous in nature that I implore you to file a criminal complaint, not a civil one. Whomever would commit such a crime against a minor should be locked away. Would you not agree? These alleged victims would deserve real justice if that were the case." His attorneys quickly taking his rebuttal to court, filing a motion to deny the accuser's request to remain anonymous or dismiss the lawsuit, calling it a cynical and calculated campaign to force payment of an exorbitant sum of money.
There are a number of reasons as to why a defendant would ask that a plaintiff be named in a civil lawsuit such as this. They may simply say that getting the name and the time and place of when something occurred would better allow them to prepare for a defense. The other, probably less benign reason is oftentimes when someone is accused of a crime like this, the accuser doesn't want to be named, and if they are forced to be named, we have seen certain people decide to drop the lawsuit altogether. So it could be a tactic to try to get the lawsuit dropped.
The wall of silence has now been broken, and victims are coming forward.
This recent revelation stems from one of at least 7 civil lawsuits against Sean Combs filed in October by attorney Tony Busby, all of which allege Combs sexually abused dozens of victims for over 2 decades.
What shocked me most was that it was going on openly in front of other people, people that you would know who didn't do anything to stop it.
Busby, a prominent Houston lawyer, is no stranger to going against powerful entities. He represented 12,000 plaintiffs in a lawsuit against the oil company BP following the tragic Deepwater Horizon oil spill in 2010. BP agreed to pay $7.8 billion to compensate local residents who were impacted by the damage. In a statement, Sean Combs' legal team called the lawsuits against their client shameless publicity stunts, and that Mr. Combs never sexually assaulted or trafficked anyone, man or woman, adult or minor.
For Combs, he's under a lot of fire, both from a civil and a criminal standpoint. He's got a criminal case in the Southern District of New York where he could be going away to prison for decades, if not a lifetime. And as each week seems to pass by, Tony Busby and other individuals seem to just be adding on civil lawsuit after civil lawsuit.
According to the complaint, the 13-year-old Jane Doe was dropped off near the Radio City Music Hall in 2000, hoping to get into that year's Video Music Awards, but instead found her way into an after-party.
According to the allegations, when she first got to the party, she was asked to sign something she believes to be an NDA, but she didn't really read the details. After that, she entered the party.
After accepting a drink, she claims she began to feel woozy and lightheaded and entered what appeared to be...
Like, come on, man. Oh, man.
Female celebrity enter.
Yeah. Man. Yeah. Man. People, man. People. Like, I don't know what to believe with these people, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I just don't believe the girl's story, man. I don't know about, any other accusers that's coming forward on Puff, but the girl's story it just ain't adding up, man. It don't sound right. And I can't agree with it. It's nothing about what she's saying. It makes sense. Nothing. And I can't wait until they put the polygraph on her. I'm thinking she gonna refuse it, honestly, because I don't think she was expecting for the polygraph. And honestly, the lawyer should have did that before he even came to the public with it. That should have been something that was done first before he came to the public. Out of all these lawsuits, he said he got 20 lawsuits against Diddy. And this is the only one from your clients that we hear about. Honestly, I think it made the case a little stronger for Diddy. We already see that Jay-Z is looking like he's going to spank it. This is going to get wiped out. But my honest opinion, I think it makes the case look stronger for Diddy. I really think it really makes the case look stronger for Diddy. Because this is who you put out there to us. This is who you say that this is what happened. And the whole world is like, come on. Everywhere is saying, why did they put this case in front of the world? It damaged the lawyer's reputation too. Because now they definitely going to sue him for defamation of character. And, you know, these guys, they're real cocky because they took this class and schooling for law. They feel like they above people because the law is what governs the world, right? So them having a certain kind of knowledge that most people don't have, it makes them feel like they're better than everybody. So I'm sure when Jay-Z's lawyer contacted them after their demand letters, which they said they didn't want no money, but that's what the demand letters is for. I'm sure when Jay-Z's lawyer contacted him and sent him letters saying that he was going to go at them, the lawyer just wanted to be cocky and put the situation out there to see how the public was going to react. And I don't think they got the response that they wanted. And this is being honest. Because the person wasn't telling the truth. So you can't hide a lie behind a lie and continue to lie and think that people with common sense is not going to understand it. She thought she was going to just get up there and say what she wanted to say and everybody was going to believe it because she was making accusations of a serious situation. Now, everybody has looked at this for what it is. You said you went here at a certain time. You said you did this at a certain time. But you said your dad picked you up. That's what got me. I'm not even going to lie. Once she said her dad picked her up and the dad didn't remember and it was a 5-hour drive, I'm stuck on that. I really think that hurt the whole situation. That hurt the whole situation. And we got no choice but to be real and be honest, man. That was the worst person they could have put in front of us, man. Honestly. I hope they destroy the lawyer. I hope the lawyer, I'm sure he's rich as a motherfucker. So it's not too much they're going to destroy him. But I hope they destroy him from practicing, man. Because these lawyers get these degrees and really think they run shit. But they can get stripped of the degrees too. Nobody runs nothing. You can lose anything you work for. This is the mental shit that's played upon us in the world. You can work hard as fuck for something, years, and it take 1 second for them to take that shit from you. So Don't think you own nothing. You own nothing in this world, man. The control you have is what they allow you to control. And we see this shit now. Nobody's off limits, man. So, I'm hoping that Tony Busby guy, hoping they rock his socks, man. I can't stand these kind of people, man. But we all got to understand this, right? Everybody in the world is pushing and pulling against each other. Nobody's safe. Nobody's your friend. When they asked Jay-Z's lawyer, are him and Diddy friends? The lawyer said, no, business. When you're in a situation, nobody's your friend, man. Nobody's with you, man. Nobody. Especially if it's going to bring them into a situation. You hear me? If it's going to bring them into a situation supporting you, nobody's backing you. Now, all these people that was riding with Jay-Z and Puff, right? Nobody wanted to say nothing until this girl spoke out. And now that they see she's lying, people are kind of riding with Jay a little bit. I ain't gonna lie. Now that people see that this person is lying, they're riding with Jay a little bit, man. They're making us see it for what it is. She lied. It's nothing truthful about what she's saying. And if it was truthful, we would be able to detect some truth out of it. People just trying to believe the allegations because Puff is charged with this and Jay-Z was associated with it. But it should be a situation that is brought to us that makes sense. If we gonna go with the situation, why wouldn't it be a situation that makes a lot of sense? This situation don't make sense. We hear all this stuff about Puff, right? But they not showing us though. See, and that's what fucks me up too. I'm gonna be honest, man. We hearing all this shit about how Puff did everything, these videos, but why won't they show us? So we done formed this opinion without seeing any of the evidence. Nobody's seen the tape now. They got some people saying they seen it on these different outlets, but let the world, we the ones that got to judge it. The people on the outlets, they not going to be on the jury. The public going to be on the jury. These are the people that should be able to view this shit. These are the people that should be able to see it. Because we got this big opinion on Puff, right? And we ain't seen shit. We hearing the shit. We hearing what people saying. But let us see the shit. Let us see the names of the people that was in these rooms. Let us see this shit. You feel me? And they not letting us see it, but they just keep presenting these accusations from different people, different situations. And now they done push Jaguar to the front. We listening to Jaguar now, like Dame Dash said. It seems like the people we thought was crazy, now they don't look so fucking crazy. That's crazy. We thought all these people was crazy. Jaguar. Now they like, Jaguar is not crazy. She's making it the major platform talking about this shit, right? And they saying they can't sue Jag because they don't got no address on her. Think about this shit, man. She don't even got no address. Man. But I think we need to see proof, man. Because the proof they put out for Jay, that shit ain't no proof, man. This is not proof, man. Straight up, man. And I first reported on this shit and I'm like, damn, I'm thinking Jay did this shit, right? Because usually when they put this shit out, they got some secure shit they come with, right? And we saying, where is the secure shit? I don't see nothing secure with Jay. Nothing. Nothing about what they said they alleged that man is doing made any sense coming from that lady's mouth. And I sit there and say, a 13-year-old white girl was able to come into this mansion party. Nobody knew her. And then she claimed to sit down and talk with some other celebrities that was there, and that shit was fabricated. They wasn't even at the party. They was on tour. Like, damn. You understand that it's crazy that people would do that, but they will do it, man. Once you become an adult, man, you got to understand you subjected to anything from anybody else. You're guilty by association from whoever you hang around. Once you become an adult, it's all good when you're a kid. But when you become an adult, man, ain't nobody your friend. Ain't nobody on your damn team. That shit go out the window, man. You really think people fucking with you like that, right? When you get in a situation, it's heartbreaking how everybody around you will say fuck you. That's the deep shit. But we don't understand that. And it's fucked up that we don't get that from a juvenile to really understand it. You might be told by your family members, man, you don't got no friends, because, you know, we all hear that when you're a kid. You ain't got no friends. Don't know nobody care about you, right? But when you become an adult and start experiencing adult situations, that's when you understand. Nobody's your motherfucking friend. Everybody is an associate. Because when you are in a situation, everybody turns their fucking head. You can be innocent of something, like seriously, and you're in jail and you need somebody to come vouch for you. A motherfucker say, man, I ain't going up there. I don't want nothing to do with that. I don't want no problems. Because they not your friend. Nobody. The mental design of this shit is crazy. And they all scream to us in the world, unity, family. Come on, man. All that shit destroys you. Honestly. Your family will destroy you. Unity, trying to help people, will destroy you. Thinking people care about you will destroy you. It means nothing. And it's like, damn, all I done for a motherfucker, you know, much as I did, much as I've been there. But you only get to notice and see these things when you are in a real situation. You don't know them until you in a real situation. So the people that haven't never been in a real situation, yeah, they gonna want to say, oh, my family, my peoples, my folks. They say that kind of shit, right? Then soon as these people fuck you over, now you like, I don't fuck with nobody. But this is how it should be from the door. We should be teaching down the line. Once you become an adult, you have no friends. Everything is business. And you need to do good business with people. If you don't do good business with people, then you fuck up those relationships. But it's only business as an adult. That friendship is over, man. And we already see Jay got in there and said, got his lawyer to say, man, they not friends, man. Jay and Puff ain't friends. Straight up. Jay got in there and said it, man. Jay and Puff ain't friends. Nah, they ain't friends, man. Hell no. It was a business relationship. When you seen Jay taking pictures with Puff, it was all business. Even though we all know they had some type of friendship. We know this. They had a friendship, but now Puff is in a situation and everybody is going to distance themselves. You got to think about this shit when life is good. Niggas don't want to think about this shit when shit going good for them. And I'm going to be honest. Things go good for you. You don't see this part. This ain't the part you see. You overlook this shit. And it takes experience, you know? I'm going to tell you that right now. It takes experience to understand this. Things that you go through. And me thinking about Jay, right? I'm thinking that his experiences that he's had with his past people, like Dame, DeHaven, and those people that was real close to him, that's what started giving Jay the understanding that niggas ain't your friends. And I'm sure he's never really spoke on it publicly, but those experiences is what gives you the understanding that, nah, they not your friends. And now, Jay sees. You feel me? You got Dame talking about him all the time. You got DeHaven talking about him all the time. Man, ain't nobody your friend. And I understand, right? When I get to the level where I'm trying to go, I'm going to experience the same type of shit with people I knew. I know this because I'm working to get to a big level. I'm going to keep pushing to grow my shit. And I already know when I get to that level, I'm going to have people talking about me too. Niggas that I knew, niggas that I grew up with. And the crazy shit is, the way I am now is how I always been. I speak to you. I say what's up to you if I fuck with you. But you not on be in my fucking personal space. I don't give a fuck. I'm not making you feel comfortable allowing you all in my fucking personal space. Cause I know if something go crazy, you ain't really got my fucking back. You not gonna really step in the front line with me if I'm the one getting shot at. Come on, man. But we don't pay attention to this shit. And I'm gonna be honest in the motherfucker until you in that position. I understand it though, you know? So you gotta prepare yourself for it. But what I do know with myself is ain't nobody gonna be able to say, yo, that nigga DZ acting different. Now this is how I been act, nigga. I been not fucking with niggas. I been saying, yo, what's up to niggas riding by. Niggas knew me since I had the S420 back in the day. When I used to ride by and I beep the horn, yo, what's up, nigga? What's happening? And keep it moving. No, you're not riding in my fucking car. No, I'm not picking you up. Because I already know if something happens, you niggas is going to tell on me. You niggas is going to go against me. You not going to be on my side. You going to save your ass and not worry about my ass. This is how life goes. But don't nobody want to pay attention to it until they in a situation. This is an experienced behavior that you have to learn to understand it. And I'm going to say that shit, big facts. You have to learn this from experience. And I'm sure that's what's going to keep Jay out of this shit. Even though you seen Jay around Puff, he understood the line where I got to separate myself. Y'all into this, y'all doing that, I'm going to slide through, but I got to separate myself so that if something do happen, I can be able to, I'm separated from that shit. So we can speculate about Jay all we want of the birds of the feather flock together, but we don't see no evidence that's linking to him with Puff. Not yet. Because the person that came out speaking, that shit ain't hold no fucking weight. That shit ain't got no value to it. We all listen to it. Come on, man. A 13-year-old white girl, nobody knows. Like, come on, man. And now she don't even got a solid story? Nah. You better pay attention to this shit, man. Nobody's your friend. When you become an adult, everybody is an associate. It's either business or not. Because if you're in a situation criminally, civilly, ain't nobody standing up for you, man. Don't nobody give a fuck about what happened to you. And this is what you got to understand, because the world is governed by law. And if niggas ain't going to stand behind you when it comes to the law, what the fuck are they to you? Nothing at all. Niggas ain't going up to that courthouse and saying, yo, I'm going to get on the stand for you. Straight the fuck up. Now, I've had people that done that for me, right? That got on the stand for me and vouched for me. Those was my motherfucking people. You feel what I'm saying? Those is my people. And I gotta understand that. But niggas ain't doing that. Niggas ain't putting themselves in a line of nothing for you. They not your friends, man. Nobody. Everybody talk that shit. Everybody say they about it. They riding with you and I'm here for you. Especially them people that always want to call and say, you all right? Everything all right? If it wasn't, what the fuck are you going to do? Are you going to come through for me if it wasn't? No. You're going to give me an excuse why you can't do this. But you had a concern. You were just being nosy. This is a part of life, man. And we got to understand it. And it's so fucking crazy that we'll see this shit in front of our face and still don't pay attention to it. And it's people that'll go out here next week and still act like they got friends, and then the week after disappointed because the people that they put their trust in showed them that they're not their fucking friends. The game of life is crazy. Nobody's your friend, man. You have to understand, everyone is an associate. They're not going to be there for you when you need them. They will throw you under the bus if they have to and not give a fuck. The world is governed by law. Nobody's stepping in front of that law for you. You better understand that shit, man. You go out here and think motherfuckers is your friend. They riding with you. They willing to be down and go to war for you. Soon as that crazy situation happened, they pointing a finger at you. Nah, it was him. Nah, he did that shit. Family, friends, your fucking kids, anybody. Y'all be out here, it be motherfuckers out here saying, I died for my kids. You ain't never fucking died. What the fuck is you talking about? You've never died. I'll go to jail for my kids. You've never went to fucking jail for your kids. If you go to jail for them, I promise you'll say, I'll never do that shit again. Come on, man. The world is just so crazy how we are so influenced to look at shit. Yo, you said YSL, Gerard? I ain't go to the YSL shit yet. I'm talking about Jay and Puff shit. I'm talking about Jay and Puff, man. You know how motherfuckers will say they your friends and they riding with you, but they not gonna go up there and take that bullet that you received. You feel what I'm saying? You see how Jay done denounced Puff. He had his lawyer denounce his ass. This is what I'm saying, Gerard. Jada had the lawyer denounce this nigga. Say, yo, nah, they not friends. This was all business. That's it. The crazy shit. You feel what I'm saying? And from what we see, Puff is looking bad for Puff. But I really think Jay gonna get this shit wiped out. And he probably get it wiped out before Christmas. Honestly. Because the judge done seen this shit. The judge done seen this interview already. The world seen it. Before the judge even got the case, the judge seen this shit, man. And he sees that there's too many inconsistencies in this story. And the world isn't backing it. Nobody's standing behind this shit, man. At all. I agree with you. YSL is the example of ain't nobody riding with you when shit get thick. Real shit, Gerard. That showed the world. YSL case showed the world a lot of shit. Nobody riding with you when it get thick. The court system is corrupt. All these motherfuckers, lawyers, all them lawyers, because the judge, the prosecutor, and the defense attorney, they're all lawyers. They all go to school for the same shit. The world is governed by law. And from us seeing this YSL shit, that let us know ain't nobody your friend, man. Motherfucker shit get real when them people come knocking at your motherfucking door, or you out in the street and something happen. Motherfucker gonna say, man, it was him. It wasn't me. I ain't had nothing to do with that shit. So at a certain age, we all gotta understand that it's business. Everything, man. It's business. And if it ain't business, you better treat it like it's business. Because when it go down, you're going to wish you did. You feel me? And, you know, I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? Me looking out for motherfuckers, I'm like, God damn. My people's turned against me. I'm like, hold up. I'm out here taking penitentiary chances to take care of these motherfuckers. Straight up. I'm taking penitentiary chances to take care of motherfuckers. And the first chance they got, motherfucker point the finger and say, no, he did this. I'm like, hold on, I ain't do shit. This shit is crazy. And these are the people that you love, you support, right? But they don't love you like that. They only love what the fuck you can do for them. You know what I'm saying? Jay and Puff, their relationship only stem for what the fuck can be done. I'm going to be honest. Put the battery charge on this motherfucker. Yeah, their relationship only stem for what the fuck can be done. Man, put my battery charge on this motherfucker, man. Hold up. Real shit, man. Yeah, this shit is crazy, man. I had to learn the hard way. You know what I'm saying? I thought motherfuckers loved me. I'm like, God damn. You know, same shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Women will tell you, I love you and all this shit, right? Hold up. My shit acting funny. Hold the fuck up. Hold up. Hold up. My shit acting funny. Hold up. Yeah, people will tell you they love you. They riding with you, right? But the whole time, they ain't fucking with you like that. That's the crazy thing. They'll tell you, I'm rocking with you. I'm with you. I support you. But you know, some of us learn faster than others, and some of us don't learn. It's a crazy game. It's a crazy game, man. Let's see what we got going on here. Hold on. Let me see if I can get this joint on here. Hold on.
He wasn't named in the suit, but that changed 8 days ago when the accuser's flamboyant attorney, Tony Busby, amended the suit to include Jay-Z's legal name, Sean Carter. Prior to that, Jay-Z was known only as Celebrity A in the suit. The woman, who's identified at this point only as Jane Doe from Alabama, granted an interview to NBC News, which aired Friday night. And when it aired, Jay-Z's lawyer, Alex Spiro, pounced. He wants this lawsuit thrown out of court. That's how bad he claims things are. First, a little bit of background on the suit. I've told you about it before. The woman claims she went to the MTV Video Music Awards back.
Oh, man. Okay.
Back in 2000 when she was just 13 years old, and then an after party.
I guess my thing went act funny on me today. I guess my computer went act funny today. One of them days. But yeah, man. You never know, man. People ain't your friend. You think people your friends, they not your friends, man. It's business. It's all business, man. You gotta pay attention, man. I'm trying to get this thing back on. Let's see what we got. See if we get it back right. Let's see if we get it back right.
Unnamed female celebrity, Celebrity B, watched. The woman said while outside the VMAs at Radio City Music Hall, she couldn't get in because she didn't have a ticket, so she hung out outside and talked to limo drivers. The lawsuit says one of the limousine drivers she spoke to claimed to work for defendant Combs. The driver told her that Combs liked younger girls and said she fit what Diddy was looking for. And while not allowing her into the awards, the driver invited her to an after party. The driver stated that he had to drive Combs and others to the after party first, but instructed plaintiff to return to his location after the event and that he pick her up and take her to the after party. The suit describes the woman being taken to a house where she saw and spoke with other celebrities and drank something that made her feel woozy, and eventually made her way to a room where she said there was only a bed. The suit states, soon after, Combs entered the room along with defendant Carter and a female celebrity, Celebrity B. Plaintiff immediately recognized all three celebrities. Combs aggressively approached plaintiff with a crazed look in his eyes, grabbed her and said, "You are ready to party." Combs then threw plaintiff toward a wall, causing plaintiff to fall. Plaintiff got up and stumbled, at which point Combs grabbed her again and threw her on the bed. At that point, Carter began removing plaintiff's clothes as she grew more and more disoriented. Plaintiff was held down by Carter as he vaginally raped her, while Combs and Celebrity B watched. After Carter finished, he stepped back toward the wall. Combs then stepped forward and vaginally raped plaintiff while Carter and Celebrity B watched. Combs then knocked plaintiff down and attempted to force plaintiff to perform oral sex on him. She fought back, standing up quickly and punching out at the same time, hitting Combs in the neck. Taken aback, Combs stopped his attempt. Now, we still to this day don't know who Celebrity B, the female, is alleged to be. The woman's attorney, Tony Busby, had sent a demand letter to Jay-Z's lawyers when the suit was first filed, seeking mediation. Fast forward to last Friday night. NBC News aired its interview with the woman and posted it on its website. The story quotes the woman as saying, "I have made some mistakes," in her recollections of that night. The woman, identified as Jane Doe in the lawsuit, led against Jay-Z and Diddy, told NBC News. The woman said she stands by her allegations overall. The inconsistencies in her account of the incident, alleged to have happened 24 years ago, do not necessarily mean the allegations are false. Now, I'll get to what Jay-Z and his legal team are saying about this in a moment. NBC News went on to detail some of the inconsistencies, including that the woman said her father picked her up after the assault, but he told NBC News he doesn't remember that, and it would have been a 5-hour drive had he done so. The woman also claimed she spoke to Benji Madden at the after party, but his reps told NBC News he was on tour in the Midwest that night, not in New York. I want to tell you about Upside. It's a free app that gets
we ain't messing with all that right now.
to strike the lawsuit. Spyro wrote, basic facts in her narrative, the who, what, when, and where, are wrong. She claims her father picked her up after the assault. Her own father denies that ever happened. She claims she spoke with Benji Madden at the party that night, but he was on tour in the Midwest at the time, forcing her to admit, "I have made some mistakes. I may have made a mistake in identifying." She claims the assault took place at an after party at Mr. Combs' home, but photos that night show Mr. Combs and Mr. Carter at Lotus nightclub for the after party. When pressed, the plaintiff admitted she was guessing about key details, including the time it took to reach the venue. She admits she has no single corroborating witness over the last 24 years. Now, Spyro also took some shots at attorney Tony Busby, claiming he didn't vet this woman or the suit before taking it on. He wrote, "It is stunning that a lawyer would not only file such a serious complaint without proper vetting, but would make things worse by further peddling this false story in the press. We are asking this court to dismiss this frivolous case today, and will take up the matter of additional discipline for Mr. Busby and all the lawyers that filed the complaint." Busby said the firm that referred the suit to his firm vetted the claims and the accuser. In a statement,
See, I really had to say this, right? I have to say this. Why would another attorney that knows he's going to get a major bag from this situation give this situation to another attorney? That there is a major red flag to me. Why would an attorney, knowing he's going to get a major bag from this case, from this client, give it to another lawyer. It makes no sense, man. It makes no sense at all. Come on, man. We not that dumb, man. But you know, that's what they expect. They expect the people. They look at us like we dumb because we don't have a law degree. I'm going to tell y'all that right now. Lawyers, the judge, the defense attorney, and the prosecutor. They look at the regular people like you're straight stupid. I want you to understand that. In their mind, you regular motherfuckers are dumb. We have the degree, you don't. And I want you to understand that when you have a conversation with these motherfuckers, if you ever had a conversation with an attorney, you understand where I'm coming from. They look at you like you don't know shit because you don't know the law. They understand that the law is govern the fucking world. It controls us, the law. And they feel that because they have this education that everybody else is fucking stupid. So when they say things to us, they say it to us looking down on us. Straight up. They don't got no respect for us, man. Trust me, man. I can't stand these motherfuckers, man. Straight up.
To NBC News, Busby said, Jane Doe's case was referred to our firm by another who vetted it prior to sending it to us. Our client remains fiercely adamant that what she has stated is true to the best of her memory. We will continue to vet her claims and collect corroborating data to the extent it exists. Because we have interrogated her intensely, she has even agreed to submit to a polygraph. I've never had a client suggest that before. Jay-Z posted a statement on X. Today's investigative report proves this attorney, Busby, filed a false complaint against me in the pursuit of money and fame. This incident didn't happen, and yet he filed it in court and doubled down in the press. True justice is coming. We fight from victory, not for victory. This was over before it began. This 1-800 lawyer doesn't realize it yet, but soon. And not to be forgotten, what does Sean Combs' legal team have to say about Jane Doe's inconsistencies? His legal team told me last week a lawyer admitted that over 50 people falsely claimed to be victims. Last Friday, for the second time in a week, a Busby plaintiff has been exposed. This is the beginning of the end of this shameful money grab. I want to bring in Nima Rahmani. He is an entertainment attorney, also a former federal prosecutor. So, Nima, what do you make of this latest move by Camp Jay-Z with them saying, look, there are inconsistencies in this accuser's story?
And Jeanette, litigation is about chess. And, Tony Busby, I think, made some pretty serious mistakes here. He should have known that Jay-Z was going to come out swinging because Busby knew that Jay-Z was the one who filed the extortion lawsuit against him. So before he unmasked his client, and I understand that she's still proceeding as a Jane Doe, but moved forward with a very serious complaint like this, he should have vetted the allegations. Now, I'm not saying that it didn't happen, but jurors and members of the public might.
Man, straight up, though. This motherfucker here, this sweet nuts here, he should just say, it didn't happen then. He has to say this. You're lying. You're not telling the truth, man. God damn. God damn, man.
Take these inconsistencies to mean that she's lying. So certain things should have been done already, like ask her father if he indeed drove and picked her up that evening. That's an easy question to ask. And I understand that the friend who drove her to the VMAs and the after party appears to be deceased, but asked if there's any other percipient witnesses. I think they should have done a little bit more vetting before they move forward with these types of allegations against someone like Jay-Z, who they know is going to fight them and call her a liar.
And Jay-Z is somebody with a lot of resources. He's hired Quinn Emanuel. I mean, that's a heavy hitter law firm in New York. They're not going to take this lying down. So he's fighting this with everything he has. I mean, he's putting out statements like crazy on Twitter, and they're really fighting not only a legal battle here, but a PR battle.
No question. And, I'm here in Los Angeles, and My daughter used to go to school with Beyonce and Jay-Z's daughter, Blue Ivy. They have a lot of money. And I have cases against a lot of people in the entertainment industry, including Alex Spiro and Quinn Emanuel. And you got to know what their MO is, because Jay-Z is not just fighting this case, he's fighting for his reputation, for all his business dealings, for his wife. So they are going to drag this victim through the mud. So this is something you need to prepare your client for. And look, I've sued lots of people in the music industry, Kanye, Lizzo, and I prepare all my clients the same way, saying, listen, they're going to call you a liar. We need to make sure every one of these allegations is accurate, because if not, guess what? That's going to help prove their case. We need to have our credibility. We need to have our likability. So this is something that should have been done before. And the problem is, NBC is fantastic, but now in the past week or so, we've had 2 victim interviews, one with CNN and one with NBC. And the vetting that NBC did was really sort of surface level that should have been done by Busby's firm already. And, Busby's response was, well, we got this case referred from another firm that vetted it, but that doesn't really absolve you of your responsibility as a plaintiff's lawyer. Again, I'm not saying that this means that the victim is lying. I don't remember what I had for breakfast this morning, so much less something that happened 24 years ago. But you have to anticipate this if you're Busby and his firm, and I think he did a poor job doing so.
Yeah.
One thing that I've noticed too is that, a week ago when Tony Busby amended the complaint and named Jay-Z, he was putting out tweets and things of that nature. Now he's silent. I mean, he had put out a statement to NBC News after this interview ran. The accuser, I want to say, is standing by her assertions that this was Jay-Z and Sean Combs, but she does admit she may have misidentified other people. I don't know if that bodes well for this entire thing.
Hold up. She admitted to misidentifying people? What? So you mean to tell me you can just say these people were there and that might not have been the right person? In this type of situation, in a lawsuit that they're suing for millions of dollars? What? Come on. This done killed the attorney Busby's reputation, and I guarantee you Hov is going to sue him to the wall. Like, come on, man. He allowed the client to speak to NBC and misrepresent who she was trying to identify. So he's going to say, well, she misrepresented my client saying it was him. This wasn't the person that she seen. Come on, man. Like, it's so many holes in this situation that they look crazy. And like she said, you don't hear nothing from Busby now. You don't hear the lawyer saying anything. He's quiet. When he was real cocky, when he was trying to let the world know about these lawsuits. Cocky. But we don't hear nothing. And I can't wait to see what this polygraph comes back. And I'm hoping that they have somebody there recording it, because we all know that these legal people, they'll manipulate some shit quick to get the verdict that they want. It's only about guilty. It's not about you being innocent when it comes to these law proceedings. And I want you to understand that. It's not about innocence. For these people that file these suits, the only thing they want to hear is guilty. Fuck innocence. They don't want to prove that they were wrong, that their client was wrong. Their proof is guilty so they can get the money. The entire world is based on money. And they have people that don't have any money making a decision. Pay attention to this shit, man. Crazy. God damn. Y'all just don't understand this shit.
But she stands by all of this other stuff. But there are some holes in the story, it sounds like. So he said nothing else on Twitter. There are no other tweets. Do you make anything of that?
Potentially, yes. And we know that the best defense is a good offense. So, there's a small handful of people that defend musicians in these types of cases. And this is their MO in all the cases, to go after the lawyer and go after the victim. I've been called every name in the book by some of these lawyers, right? My clients have been shamed. But you brought up a good point. Someone like Benji Madden, right? Another celebrity who, at least according to the complaint, was there. And there's this discussion about his tattoos and the religious significance. And it turns out he was nowhere near New York on that date. He was touring in the Midwest. So that's a pretty significant statement that turned out to be inaccurate. And maybe Busby is doing a little bit more vetting now, because anytime you bring a case like this in, Jeanette, that's decades old, and the victim admits that she didn't tell anyone, right? There's no contemporaneous report. You really want to corroborate these facts to the extent that you can and do that vetting. And I do think that maybe Busby is doing that now, and maybe that's why he's so quiet, because he's taken some blows, at least in the court of public opinion, and he wants to make sure that, you know, he comes correct next time when he goes after Jay-Z or another celebrity, because this has been a bad week for him and his client.
It really does seem like it. And it's interesting to me that the accuser even sat down with NBC News. I don't know if that was the best decision, but somebody obviously made the decision that she should do this interview.
Yeah, so this kind of cuts both ways. Oftentimes lawyers do not want their clients giving interviews because they're giving statements
like
and
this.
it can give rise to inconsistencies. We see it time and time again, even in a criminal case, right? Even if your client is innocent, most lawyers will tell their client, advise them, don't talk to law enforcement, because at trial, those statements can be used against you, and it's no different. But we are seeing a shift, at least in the PR strategy by Busby's team, apparently, because again, now they've given 2 sit-down interviews with major news networks. The other was not related to Jay-Z, but it's the security guard who was allegedly raped by Combs. That was a pretty extensive interview with CNN, and now we have this NBC interview by this specific victim. But if I'm Busby, I want to make sure that I really start looking for that corroborating evidence to see if there's other victims that may have accusations against Jay-Z, because we know oftentimes when there are abusers, they don't necessarily just abuse one person, to see if we can do anything to corroborate and bolster this particular case, because it's hurting a little bit right
now. If there is an alleged another victim with Jay-Z, they're not going to come out now. If there is, being as though that they seen this woman get up here and lie like that, even if it is another victim, I doubt they want to come forward, because this embarrassed the case. And I really think it's going to help Diddy's situation. And this is my opinion now. Her lying to this magnitude on a big stage, this is going to be used in court. They can't take this back. They can't exempt this. This is going to be used in court for if Diddy goes or if Jay-Z goes, because she made these statements and this is an alleged victim. But what I'm telling you, them attorneys be coaching these so-called victims to say what they say. And you can tell they want the money, and they're hyping them up to let them know what they need to do so we can get the money. You need to go in here and say this. Make sure that you say that. But when somebody's lying, they're not going to be prepared to do everything you're saying because they're lying. And in this situation, we don't believe her. And I'm not going to cap. I don't believe her
right now.
Well, it will be interesting to see what comes of this. I mean, that letter that Alex Spiro sent, I mean, I can see why he sent that. He sent it immediately. I mean, it came out within a couple of hours of the NBC story posting. You know, I will be interested to see how the judge responds moving forward. But it doesn't, I mean, at this point, do you see this not looking good for the accuser?
Potentially. Again, it's just one defeat. We talk about chess, right? Maybe Busby's lost a particular piece, but the case isn't necessarily over. He says he believes his client is insisting on moving forward. Ultimately, these are factual determinations for a jury, but they need to know that there's going to be a lot of mud that's slinged at them over the coming weeks and months until this case goes to trial. We know Spiro's MO, right? He's going to try to unmask this client, right? And we've talked about it, how federal judges, there's no rule that says that victims of sexual abuse have to remain anonymous. And a lot of the plaintiffs in the Combs cases, the civil cases, they've had to identify themselves. And that may be the case here. So that would be sort of step one. I would tell my client, hey, you might have to be publicly named. And then, obviously, Busby has resources. He has money. He needs to hire investigators and then to go back and do this type of investigation. And again, the easiest step would have been Dad, because obviously they have access to him. But anyone else that she may have been friends with that can verify that she was even there that evening, right? Just basic steps like that. Who else was at that after party? Let's contact them. Let's start asking questions. I think that investigation is going to be very, very important, because if you lose the court of public opinion, jurors, even though they're supposed to decide the case solely based on the facts and evidence of that case, we've seen time and time again, and Jeanette, and we've talked about it, how public opinion matters, right? It can be in the Johnny Depp case. It can be in the Luigi Mangione case. It doesn't matter what the case is. So you got to make sure that that's all buttoned up if you're going to move forward and give these types of interviews and make these types of accusations.
Thank you so much, Nima Rahmani. I appreciate it as always.
So what I say to that, right? This is why these attorneys push these things to the press, so that they can already form the public opinion. Now, in this situation, it didn't go the way they wanted it to go. They were trying to make sure that they formed the public opinion. They wanted to make sure that the public seen this situation how they wanted it to be seen. But it didn't go that way. We seeing it for what it is. The client got up there and lied, man. And now she's trying to justify the lie. And that is what liars do. Liars try to justify why they're lying and try to make light of it. And they want you to understand what they want you to understand and not the lie. They don't want you to pay attention to the lie. You hear me? They want you to understand, no, it's just this. This is the point, not the lie. Don't worry about the lie. That was an accident. I didn't mean to say it that way. I meant to say it this way. She referenced to talking to somebody that wasn't never even there. And she said, well, maybe she had the wrong person. Come on, man. We can't go for this. So by them trying to put in the public's eye what they wanted to put in the public eye, I think it damaged the case. And it might have helped Puff's case. All these witnesses are not being identified, right? And they said they got about 15,000 calls when Puff got arrested, right? Man, people trying to jump on the train. The world is starving. The world is starving right now. And we got to understand that, man. Crazy, man. It's deep. You can't trust nobody, man. At all. And I don't believe nothing she says, man. A 13-year-old little white girl was allowed to be in this party and nobody know her. Nobody's verifying that she went to the party. And then think about this, right? Your friend wouldn't want to come? You telling me your friend dropped you off over here where these celebrities are and they didn't want to come? That don't even make sense. And then at 13, you're able to call your friend that has a car and they going to take you? Oh, man. Yeah. Common sense. And it's going to come out that she lied. I can guarantee you that. And when it does come out, everybody gonna say, well, even though she lied, it's still more victims. You know, people just want people to be in these situations. And I don't want nobody to be in any situation. If they wrong, they wrong. They got to deal with it. But the world just be wanting to see people in situations, man. It's sick. You got to keep people the fuck away from you, man. Got to keep people away from you, man. It's fucked up. It's Christmas time, and Jay trying to fight for his name. But hey, that's his life, you know, for real, for real. I'm just talking about it, so he got to deal with that, not me. I got my own issues, you know what I'm saying? But goddamn, it's fucked up when you can see the lie and people are still trying to make validation of the lie. I'm seeing people saying, no, it wasn't 2000. It was 2003. I'm like, well, she said it was 2000. What the fuck? I gotta go with what she's saying. She said it was Benji, whatever his name is, who she was talking to. I gotta go with what she's saying. She said she fought off 2 men and ran out the room, and nobody seen this? Come on, man. At 13, though. Man, like, if she could have made the lie a little more believable, she might have tricked some people. But the lie wasn't believable, man. And I really think the public's already made their opinion on Jay-Z's situation. We want to see the accusers about Puff. Fuck hiding yourself. Come out. We want to see who you is so we can hear the story and see the story for what you saying it is. But these people are trying to hide and then get a payday. Nah. Every accuser should be facing the world. Because y'all coming out to the world with this shit. Every accuser should face the world. If you have been done wrong publicly by one of these celebrities, you need to be outed to the people. We need to know who you are. Anybody that was in the party, we should know who you are. Not hide behind something to try to get something. Now, what if they took it off the table that nobody gets no money? That's what they should do. In these suits, yeah, you come for it, but you don't get paid for it. They made money valuable for what they want to make money valuable for, and it gives people bad motives to get it. Y'all pay attention to that shit? They made money valuable for situations that they wanted to be valuable for, and it makes people go and get it ill. Straight up. They done made accusations against Jay and let this accuser come out and kill the case. That shit might have helped Puff. I'm gonna be honest. Puff might get a better plea deal now. Being as though this happened right here, Puff might get a better plea deal, man. Straight up. And I think that they put Puff's shit off. All his lawsuits is on hold until his criminal case is done. They don't have Jay-Z criminally charged, so they pushing at his shit. They thinking that we ready to get the ball rolling, and I really think it might have hurt the situation. I don't think that it made it better. For real. I don't think nothing about it made it better. Let me see what they say right here. Hold up. What they say right here? Hold up. I want to see this was. Hold up.
December of 2023. And, you know, what's interesting about it, it's different than a criminal case, right? Because in a criminal case, sometimes alleged victims, alleged accusers, they can proceed with Jane Doe or John Doe. It makes sense because they're not filing a lawsuit. They might not necessarily have wanted to testify. Yes, they're prosecution witnesses. Yes, they're cooperating. But it's a little bit different than when you actively file a lawsuit. You're putting your credibility at issue. That was one of the issues that came up before why certain people had to reveal their names. But let's get into this. So Tony Buzbee writes in a filing to the court 2 days ago. And he writes, if required by this court, I will disclose plaintiff's name to counsel for defendants. However, I would request a hearing prior to any such order. Plaintiff Jane Doe was a minor, age 13 at the time the incident occurred. Plaintiff is by no means the only victim of Mr. Combs to fear violence and retribution for coming forward. My firm currently represents over 200 clients with claims against Mr. Combs. Strikingly, an overwhelming number of these clients, likely in excess of 80%, have stated to me or attorneys at my firm during their intake process that Mr. Combs made threats of violence against them or against the client's family members if the client disclosed to anyone the facts of the sexual assaults or other acts of Mr. Combs of which they were a victim. For many of the clients referenced above, Mr. Combs' threats of violence were a primary reason why they did not speak out or file lawsuits earlier. Most of our clients still fear retribution and have conditioned moving forward on anonymity. And Busby actually filed a legal brief in support of this, and he argues that due to the sensitive and personal nature of these allegations, her anonymity outweighs any other factors. That the media attention on this case would create a chilling effect on people coming forward with claims of sexual assault if his client were forced to reveal who she is, that the plaintiff's experiences here are incredibly traumatic, and having those experiences play out in a public forum where she has to reveal who she is, that could create more trauma for her. Moreover, he argues that the defendants, they won't be prejudiced if plaintiff remains anonymous because Combs didn't know who she was before, during, and after the alleged assault. He also emphasized that the need for her to remain anonymous is for her safety. And he seems to make an argument that it's also premature to reveal Jane Doe's identity because it's too early in the case. Right now, all the defendants need to do is answer the complaint first. Why does she need to immediately reveal her identity? Now, Jay-Z's lawyers are fighting back, and they're saying, look, we are petitioning the court right now to order either Jane Doe has to reveal her identity or court dismiss this complaint. And they, too, filed a legal brief in support of their argument. By the way, Jay-Z Carter is being represented by Alex Spiro, who, as we know, famously represented Alec Baldwin in his manslaughter trial. Little tidbit there. Now, I want to read you the opening paragraph in Jay-Z's brief. It says, for months, an extortionate campaign has been targeting this named defendant under cover of darkness. That campaign was cynical and calculated to force payment of an exorbitant sum of money. Defendant would have to pay X millions of dollars irrespective of the truth or else. When defendant refused to pay and instead took measures to establish his innocence, this unnamed plaintiff and her self-promoting counsel, whose name has been splashed across headlines and press conferences under auspices of representing her, went to extraordinary lengths to shut down fair defense. But those efforts too failed. Now at last, the false, unfounded allegations that underlie this campaign of extortion are having judicial light shined on them, except that this plaintiff is bringing them as a doe who would continue to hide under cover of darkness. So Jay-Z makes the argument that lawsuits, they are public. The public has a right to know Jane Doe's name, and federal law requires all parties who litigate to use their real names, except under extraordinary circumstances. He also says that there is no evidence that Carter ever threatened Jane Doe or that allegations have been made against him that he has threatened violence or severe harassment or retribution. Those are claims about Sean Combs, not about Sean Carter. Now, essentially, you can't group the allegations against Sean Combs with him, and just making blanket statements that there could be retribution without some evidence, that's not enough to warrant remaining anonymous, that there is a security concern. Moreover, Jay-Z argues that courts in other Sean Combs cases force the plaintiffs to reveal their identities. I mentioned that before with Anna Cain. One court holding, the court concludes that the balance of interest at stake weighs strongly against granting plaintiff's motion. This is about her trying to remain anonymous. Where plaintiff, who is an adult, has now decided to file a lawsuit in which she accuses a famous person of engaging in heinous conduct approximately 20 years ago. And defendants have a right to defend themselves, including by investigating plaintiff, and the people have a right to know who is using their courts. The other court saying, while the court does not take plaintiff's concerns lightly, the court cannot rely on generalized, uncorroborated claims that disclosure would harm plaintiff to justify her anonymity. And the greater public policy argument, too, that we're seeing in Jay-Z's response is, if you take the reasoning from Jane Doe here, then any victim or alleged victim of sexual assault, they would be able to proceed anonymously in their case. And is that right? The argument here from Jay-Z is you need more. You need to cite a mental health professional who reviewed the plaintiff. You need an affidavit from the plaintiff herself to talk about the trauma, to talk about what would happen if her identity was revealed. And the defendant, they say, has a right to investigate her background and challenge her allegations. Other Combs accusers have named themselves too. Why should she remain anonymous? And by the way, they say courts don't like to proceed anonymously if there is a private person. It's different if there's a famous person. And they also make the argument that if you keep her anonymous, people who have evidence against her or who have evidence that the defense can use in their case, they can't come forward. They don't know who she is. And that's not fair. So Jay-Z is saying if you don't follow the federal rules here, the court will have no choice but to dismiss this lawsuit.
See, I like that too. They should have to reveal who it is, because the people that know her, they don't get a chance to say her character, to reveal who she is. So we just taking this statement for what she said, and then by her coming out and we hearing what she had to say, the public already judged her now, right? Now the public doesn't really believe her. You have some people that do, but I think majority don't. So by her doing that, they need to reveal her so that the people that know her can go ahead and slander her. Because you already know the people that know her is going to say, man, she did this. She's that. She did this. She's that. Because they know her personally. We don't know her. We just know that she came out with some lies and she tried to stand on these lies. That's all we know. We know that she came out with the lies and are standing behind these lies. And she's making the case look like, is this the case? We need to see evidence. So I'm hoping that they do reveal who she is so that the people that know her can come on out and talk about her. Let us know who she really is. Let us know what she's really been into. We need to know these things. All we know is she's a 13-year-old at the time and she had autism and somehow ended up with these celebrities. And then the one celebrity that she said she sat down and talked with said, I wasn't even there. Nah, I was in the Midwest. I was somewhere else. I wasn't there. I didn't even go to the VMAs that year. And then you got people saying, well, it wasn't 2000. It was 2003. Well, damn. How do y'all know and y'all wasn't even there? And she's the one telling of her so-called experiences and she's saying 2000. Like, nah, man. This is how you know it's a corrupt system, man. These attorneys, it's about money. That's it. It ain't about you seeing if the person's innocent. It's about money. So it's only about guilty verdicts. That's it. And it's crazy. Like, damn. I just think about this shit though, man. I'm trying to work to build myself up. And I know it's going to be people that got everything about they want to say about me in the future. You know what I'm saying? I already know. You know, I'm prepared for it. It is what it is. You know, I done put myself in this seat. You know what I'm saying? I don't really fuck with nobody anyway. You know what I'm saying? You hanging out with me, you coming around me isn't too much likely. You feel me? So it is what it is. But this is what happens. People always want to find a way. Everybody act like they love you on the rise. Everybody act like they support you on your rise, right? Oh yeah, I support you. You see somebody, yeah. But as soon as something goes bad, you see those same people on the other side. You hear me? As soon as something go wrong, it's the same people on the other side. Yeah, I told you they wasn't shit. I told you they was into this. But the whole time before, they wasn't saying that shit. This how people is, man. They ain't shit, man. They fucked up, man. It is crazy. You really think people like you and they on your side, don't have no money, nowhere to stay. See how much they give a fuck about you. Don't have. See how much they care about you. Get a lot. See how much they talk bad about you. It's like life is a crazy illusion that we really think people care about you. You really think people fuck with you. You really think somebody got your back until they show you otherwise. And that's when you understand more. You know? That's when you really recognize that, damn, they really don't fuck with me. It's so many people that are learning in today's world that motherfuckers don't really care about you. I see it all the time. When I'm on Facebook, I see it all the time. I just sit there and laugh. Everybody talking about my folks, my people. And then a couple days later, man, they ain't shit. I don't fuck with them. Oh, man, my family. Nah. That's just how it is, man. They put us all out here, and most of the world is struggling, man. Most of the world ain't got shit. Most of the world trying to figure it the fuck out. So if you the type of person that's around people and you might have something figured out, people don't like that shit. Straight up. You think people happy for you because you might be doing something or you got something going on? Hell no. They be low-key envying the shit out of you. They be low-key really like jealous. This is how the game of life is. Motherfuckers ain't happy for you like they act like it. And the craziest thing is, they allowed this person to get out there and talk. Like, goddamn. They allowed this person to really get out there and talk. And I think it killed the whole case. To me. That's my opinion. But I think it killed the whole case against Jay. And I think it might have damaged the shit to a certain extent with Puffy. You know? Because I'm sure there is some victim somewhere in Puff's situation. But we ain't seen none in Jay's. This one person, I don't think she's a victim. I think she's trying to be an opportunist. And she's seen an opportunity to get on this train, right? And she jumped in this situation. White girl too. Crazy. Crazy. White girl. Boy, you can't trust the anybody. So, you know, black or white. But I'm just like, come on, man. I can't even see this one. I can't see it, man. Even if these guys were messing around with underage girls. Say they were, right? I don't see it going on with somebody that they didn't knew. If these guys did something, it would probably be with somebody that knew somebody. Somebody that brought somebody in. Just a little white girl coming out of the blue, the limo driver, bringing her friend driving her 5 hours. Like, that would just be reckless. And for us to look at it any other way would be crazy. Like, come on, man. And she has no ties with anybody in the industry at all. And they made her so-called sign an NDA. And what I say to that situation there, right? I think everybody in the entire world knows that artists like to make people sign an NDA when they come around them. I think everybody knows that shit, right? So that is a good line to use. Yeah, they made me sign an NDA. You know what a 13-year-old look like. Straight up. Like, I can't go for this shit, man. You know what a teenage 13-year-old look like. You can't mistake a 13-year-old for an adult. Right? They wouldn't have had her sign an NDA. Why would you have a 13-year-old sign an NDA? Knowing a 13-year-old can't sign and consent to anything. So the whole story of what she's saying totally sounds frivolous, fishy. And we gotta be honest, man. No BS at all, man. Her whole story. She literally got in there and said that I signed an NDA. How did you know it was an NDA? Did you read it? Come on, man. And we supposed to believe this. Your dad don't remember this? The friend that brought you died? I can't believe the lawyer even put her in front of the world. He should have told her, we're not going to speak. And what I'm thinking, right? Once they do the polygraph and they see that it's jacked up, they just going to dismiss the claim. And the lawyer better know he already have problems behind that, because you should have did this first. And I think with these civil suits like that, they should have polygraphs from the door. From the door. That should be a number one thing of somebody coming to make a claim without any evidence. So at least you can have something that says that is backing up what she's saying, even though I think they're inadmissible in court, but it could be something. But to take somebody's word and you don't even know what kind of mental issues this person has, she probably has all kinds of mental issues, honestly, and is willing to say anything. This is from what I see.
So with all of that in mind, I want to bring on a special guest, fan favorite on the show, acclaimed national criminal defense attorney Brian J. McMonagle from McMonagle, Perry, McHugh, Meshach, and Davis. Thank you so much for coming on. Great seeing you as always. Just your initial impressions of this Jay-Z lawsuit. I mean, we were all wondering who celebrity A was in this lawsuit when it was first filed, and now that it has been revealed to be Jay-Z, what's your initial impressions?
Shock, first of all, and then secondly, this is going to be World War III. Jay-Z has taken the gloves off. He's taken this personal, as he should. He's been accused of raping a 13-year-old, and in his world, that's unabidable. And I was particularly impressed with the response, I must tell you. They called out Tony Buzbee. It got personal. It is personal, and it's going to get more personal, I can assure you.
Who's right? And let me rephrase this extortion argument, and I've previewed it for our audience before. I was talking about it, but I will just give everybody another sampling of this. So this is from one of Sean Carter's filings, one of Jay-Z's filings, and I'll read it to you. To coerce Mr. Carter into compliance, plaintiff and attorney Buzbee imposed an arbitrary deadline in their extortionate demand letter, warning Mr. Carter that they would take a different course if he did not agree to a confidential mediation to resolve this delicate and important matter. Without even waiting for the deadline provided by the extortionate demand letter to pass, attorney Buzbee posted on social media that he intended to file a lawsuit naming Mr. Carter and attaching the extortionate demand letter to punish Mr. Carter for seeking redress from a court. All along, Mr. Carter refused to bow to attorney Buzbee's scheme, faced with a choice to either pay an exorbitant sum to silence plaintiff's wild, false allegations of sexual assault.
And, you know, this is the tactic that these lawyers have came up with now. This is the tactic now. The tactic is to go to the public to get their opinion first, so that it crucifies you in the public's eye and it makes it easier for them to present their case to a jury. They went to the public in this situation. And what it did was, it was a reverse effect. It didn't do what they wanted to do. What they planned on doing, it reversed on them. Because now the public is looking at it like, hold up, you guys is lying. Is these what the lawsuits are doing? This is what they saying? This is what we have to look at? We don't see the truth in it. So the tactic really, really hurt the situation. And it's making, people that have common sense now see it for what it is. They do these type of things to get the public's opinion. And if they can grab the public's opinion, it makes the case stronger. It makes everybody look at this case as if it's something that it's not. But if they don't get the public opinion, like this situation here, then it makes it bad for them. But I really think that they need to have a camera recording the polygraph. They shouldn't be just doing a polygraph without making sure that there is video of it. Because we already know that these attorneys will manipulate some evidence to get a guilty verdict. Straight up. I don't trust any lawyer, man. I don't trust them. I can't trust them. From my experiences, how they've showed me to be untrustworthy, I don't trust them. And it's crazy that it got this far. The man said it to the public, we're going to be naming Sean Carter in this lawsuit. And they named him, got the public all roused up, right? And then when we see the evidence, everybody deflated. Everybody like, man, that don't sound too solid. The whole world now. Once we seen the evidence, it's like, this is the evidence? This is what we got to look at? Nah. We can't go for this.
Risking irreparable harm to his reputation, family, career, and livelihood, or face a barrage of baseless lawsuits and financial ruin, Mr. Carter stood his ground. On November 18, 2024, Mr. Carter filed a complaint against attorney Busby and his law firm for his extortionate conduct. Is Jay-Z right here?
Well, listen, this has become cottage industry. Sexual assault allegations against celebrities always take this track. What Mr. Busby's doing here, I'm sure he has done time and time again in the past, probably with success, and this time they're calling him out on it. Isn't it sophisticated extortion? Hey, listen, we're going to bring a case if you don't pay us money. If the case has legitimacy, if the case walks on its own, why not just bring it? They're trying to use the pressure of public insult as a means to get paid. And I, for one, like the response. I think the time has come to sometimes call out these attempts at trying to derive money from people with a lot of money on allegations that may not survive under the light of day. And they've shined a light on it right now. And keep in mind, there's no law enforcement component to this. This man hasn't been charged with any crime. There's no leverage here in that regard. What's the leverage? Hey, listen, we're going to drive a news story right now by filing a complaint, and everybody all over the world is going to think you're a child abuser unless you pay me some money. Where I come from, that's extortion.
Now, Tony Busby would say it was a letter for a confidential mediation. He wasn't demanding a penny from Jay-Z. What's your response to that?
That's exactly what he would say, and that's probably exactly what he did. I mean, where do you stand on these two fronts? If Jay-Z is innocent, as he proclaims, then what is happening here is despicable. No question about it. If Tony Busby has some real evidence and wants to take an accuser who he's tried to keep anonymous and bring that person to bear, who can now make an allegation so we can look at it and examine it. Keep in mind, he's asked for anonymity here. I mean, think about that. You're accused of raping a 13-year-old. We're not going to tell you who it is or where they're from or how you could possibly even defend against that accusation. And by the way, can you give us, maybe $5-10 million before we even bring the lawsuit? So who's right, who's wrong? We're going to find out. But I'm going to tell you something. They just picked a fight with a guy who can defend. I had the privilege of having the support of Jay-Z during Meek Mill's travels and travails when he was unjustly dealt with in the criminal justice system. And when he puts his mind to something, he usually finishes the mission.
Now, that leads me to my next point. I mean, you famously represented Meek Mill. Your former client made a statement in regards to this Jay-Z development. I read it before. What do you make of it? It felt a little confusing.
Well, I think where Meek is going with this is probably something we've all seen for a long time and felt for a long time, which is anybody anywhere can say anything. And because of the way social media is today, it takes on a life of its own. And there are people who've never met you, don't know you, who are going to jump to conclusions about you because they can't open their phones up and not read something that's, scandalous about you. And it takes a life of its own, and it can destroy you with a word. There was a time when accusations had some scrutiny to them. You had to be careful before you pointed the finger at somebody. Not anymore. Shoot first, ask questions later. And so I think that's his giant complaint, which is, where do I go to get my reputation back now? Who do I go to defend this? What do I say? I didn't do it? That's not going to be enough because the door's already been opened by the scandalous accusations. So I think that's where he's coming from. I think there's a lot of people who feel that way.
And it's interesting because it makes me wonder, Jay-Z fighting this, how as Sean Combs had fought it back in late 2023, is there a risk that now more people could come forward with lawsuits against Jay-Z? Because if you listen to Tony Buzbee, he seems to imply in his filings that Jay-Z is essentially complicit in more doings with Sean Combs. And the idea was, Sean Combs famously didn't settle the Cassandra Ventura lawsuit before it was filed, settled it after it was filed. Do you think Jay-Z could be concerned that other people might file lawsuits?
I think he's driving a stake right in the ground. I think what he's doing is, I'm taking a stand here. This is a hill I'm going to die on right now because I'm not dealing with this anymore. I'm not going to be, as he uses the word, subjected to extortionate demands anymore. If you're going to pick a fight with me, don't bother asking me for money. It's a fight. I'm innocent. And so I like the attack. I like the way he's responding to attacks because they'll just keep coming. And so anybody who wants to bring it better know I've got the best lawyers in America, and you better have what you say you have.
Now, one of the ways that he's trying to get rid of this lawsuit is by petitioning the court to order that Jane Doe reveal her identity. And that has happened before in not only other cases, but it's happened before in other Sean Combs related cases. And he is saying, this is a violation of the federal rules. The case should be thrown out. Or B, have her reveal herself, which you and I both know that could deter somebody from continuing their lawsuit if they have to reveal themselves. Do you think she should have to reveal herself, Jane Doe?
I do. I believe in the right to confrontation. You're going to make an accusation against somebody and not give them the facts. You're going to accuse somebody of perhaps one of the most, if not the most heinous crime that exists, the rape of a child, and not hold that accusation up to the light. I don't see how it could go any other way. How could we allow people to anonymously accuse people? It's my understanding this isn't a child anymore. And if this is an adult, let that adult come forward and make a credible accusation or sit down.
The counter arguments that were put forward by Tony Buzbee are this is highly sensitive information. This would be incredibly traumatic for her. This would deter other people from coming forward with similar claims if they knew their identities were going to be revealed. This is premature. Right now, we're in the early stages of this litigation. I mean, right now, Jay-Z just has to file an answer. We don't have to deal with her, revealing herself at this point. And there's a number of other arguments that they have made. What's your take on that?
My response would be, where's the criminal investigation? What are you really saying here? We want money? I mean, that's what you're saying. We want money. But now we want justice. We want money. And so you want money and yet you don't want to reveal yourself. You want money, and you're saying, well, this is a little bit too personal for me. I have a different view of it. I mean, had this come along the usual track where there had been a law enforcement investigation, had there been an allegation made to law enforcement, I might look at this a different way. And I think Jay-Z's lawyers are doing the same. I think what they're saying is this is nothing more than a money grab. And listen, if there's any legitimacy to it, give us your name. Let us investigate where you were, what you did, what we did. Have we ever met you? Do I even know who you are? In what world would you pay money to somebody where you don't even know who they are? And so I think they've done everything they should do. And now the rubber's going to meet the road, because I think a court is going to make this individual reveal themselves. And they're going to have to make a decision as to whether or not they want to bring this into a court of law. And in a court of law, all the gloves are coming off.
Would it be sufficient for the identity to be revealed to Jay-Z's lawyers? Not Jay-Z, not anybody else in his camp, but just Jay-Z's lawyers. That's something that Tony Buzbee had seemed to indicate that he'd be open to. Is that something you've seen before? Do you think that would be sufficient?
A court might do that. You know, a court might split the baby and make a decision that kind of protects everybody's interest. I got to tell you, though, I've seen that fall apart in a hurry. Trying to provide information that only goes to lawyers, and the next thing you know, some investigator finds out, and the next thing you know, it's on the 6 o'clock news. But a court could very well do that. It could balance interest, as sometimes courts do, provide information so Jay-Z's lawyers can investigate the claim, can investigate the accuser, can see if the two ever even met in life, and give them what they need without sacrificing an individual to some scandalous publicity. I think that's something that's possible.
One of the things he's also asking for is an expedited hearing on this anonymous issue. And in filing from yesterday, I'll read it. What it says. It says, this is from Jay-Z. For the avoidance of doubt, Mr. Carter is entirely innocent. This is a shakedown. He is not mentioned, referenced, or implicated in any way in the criminal investigation of Mr. Combs. He is neither a target nor a person of interest in that investigation. Adding to the urgency of this matter, attorney Tony Buzbee has orchestrated a months-long press campaign aimed at inflaming public opinion and escalating the events in real time on social media platforms. Every day and in real time, Buzbee continues to amplify false narratives, exploiting the legal process to generate media attention and damage Mr. Carter's reputation. This relentless campaign underscores the need for a fast-track hearing to address these issues promptly and prevent further harm. You think a judge would order an expedited hearing and potentially order the identity of this Jane Doe to be revealed sooner rather than later?
I do. Think about the damage that's being done. I mean, think about the business opportunities that are being lost. Think about corporations that are being affected by this, connections with the NFL. This is a big deal when you make an allegation like this. And I think a court's going to realize that the damage to his reputation can be so significant that let's get to this immediately so we can treat this like every other case. Let's treat it like a civil case ought to be ought to be handled. And I think a judge is going to do that. I really do.
Let me ask you this. How would it even work, in your experience, with someone remaining anonymous, and let's say that identity is not revealed to either Jay-Z or his defense counsel? The first time they would know who this person is at trial, if that person testifies? I mean, how does it work preparing a defense if you don't know who the plaintiff is? How does it work?
Never had it happen, and I don't anticipate it's going to happen here. I think it becomes a timing issue. I think there'll be a certain period of time if a judge were to lean their way toward anonymity to at some point in time, there'd have to be a disclosure. There's going to have to be a public trial. This is not a child where certain steps can be maintained to make anonymity complete throughout a trial. That will never happen here. There won't be initials here. I don't anticipate it happening. I just don't see how this comports with federal law in any way. And the ask that's been made by Mr. Buzbee, I think, is too big an ask for a court to grant.
Before I let you go, I want to ask you real quick. You mentioned you appreciate the way that Jay-Z and his team, represented by Alex Spiro, have responded to Tony Buzbee. It's interesting to think about because you know that Jay-Z is not the only high-profile celebrity who if you're listening to Tony Busby's prior comments, he said there's a lot of high-profile people. They've come forward. They've tried to settle their claims before they're mentioned. A lot of people wonder who's in Sean Combs' orbit. If this strategy from Jay-Z proves successful, an aggressive strategy, maybe can get this complaint tossed out, do you think other people, other celebrities who maybe be in a similar position, they'll say, you know what? File your lawsuit against me. We're going to do what Jay-Z did. We're going to be aggressive as well. And more names might come up, because right now it seems like Jay-Z is the first person since this whole scandal broke who is allegedly been implicated in Sean Combs' scheme.
Yeah, I do think that a lot of people are looking hard at this now, because the old way of handling these cases were pay this guy his 10 cents and let him go home. The question's going to be, individual case by case, are they innocent of the accusation? Right. Do they have dirty hands? Can they defend the accusation at the end of the day? Some of these cases, there's legitimate cries. This seems to be one where you've got a guy saying, I didn't do it. I'm not putting up with this nonsense. So I think you are going to see a lot of other people taking this position, because, I think a lot of people, a lot of regular people, day-to-day people who, turn on the news, who watch your show, they're going to say to themselves, you know what? Let's put these accusations to the test. Good for them. Stand up. Defend yourself. Don't pay the vig. Defend the case. I think we're going to see more of it, and I think a lot more names are going to start flushing.
It seems no one's backing down. I mean, Tony Busby says he's got the evidence. He's like, let the filings speak for themselves in terms of the accusations. Jay-Z fighting back. I'll be very curious to see where this goes. It is an incredibly disturbing allegation and account in this complaint, and we will see if the plaintiff can ultimately prove it, and if it goes to trial, because right now we're going to deal with this issue of if her identity has to be revealed, and that could definitely affect this case. Brian McMonagle, so good seeing you. Thanks so much for taking the time.
Thanks for having me. It's good to see you, Jess.
Yeah. Well, they need to reveal who this person is. Because what we see here is a bunch of lies to shake some shit down, man. It's a shakedown. And it's been revealed, man. We can't believe nothing this witness says. Everything the witness says cannot be believed, man. I really think they did a big mess up with this situation. I really think that this situation didn't go the way they thought it was going to go. And, like they said, they're so used to doing this same tactic to get people to pay. They don't expect people to stand up. Because probably sometimes these dudes be straight guilty with hardcore evidence against them. So they really don't have a leg to stand on. But from what we see here, it's nothing solid about what the so-called victim said. She's lying. And it's been proven by allowing her to speak. And we haven't even seen her face or know who she is. She's lying. I hope they sue the shit out of that lawyer. Real shit. I hope they sue the shit out of that lawyer, man. Anybody that does this kind of shit, they should feel it, man. Crazy. These attorneys, I tell you, they think they better than everybody. All these attorneys, they think they better than everybody, man. They got their own little world. They think they straight better than everybody. And this shit is crazy. Shit's crazy, man. Shit's crazy, man. Shit's crazy, man. This shit's crazy, man. You never know, though. You never know. Female ID. Yeah. Well, I'm gonna talk about this situation in this school shooting. Let's see what we got here, man. Boy, I tell you. Let's see what we got here. Hold up. So, they got the school shooting that happened. I think they said they got a motive for it. We're going to see here. I think they got a motive for the school shooting.
Wisconsin, where police are searching for answers in the 323rd school shooting in America this year. All too common, but in this case, also rare because the suspect was female, 15-year-old Natalie Rupnow, who went by the name Samantha. Of the 258 school shooters identified this year, only 9 are female, according to the K-12 school shooting database. And today, the details from Madison, as always, are chilling. A teenager opening fire inside a classroom, in this case during study hall at the Abundant Life Christian School, killing a student and a teacher in front of her classmates, shooting 6 others, then turning the gun on herself. 2 of the injured are still in critical condition, and that raises so many questions, including this one from the chief of police.
How does any 15-year-old get a hold of a gun? Or anyone for that matter.
Police are now working with the ATF to trace that gun, having had, in the chief's words, a long conversation with the suspect's parents, who are said to be cooperating. And in the all too familiar effort to pin down a motive, police have turned over some online statements to the FBI to determine if they are the real deal, indeed written by the shooter. And this, too, is familiar, the frustration.
We always send prayers. We always send thoughts. And then when are we going to stop doing that? This is not okay. If your kids are at school, they are not okay. If they are at church, they are not okay. If they are outside, elsewhere, they are not okay. Where are they going to be safe?
I want to bring in NBC's Kathy Park, who is in Madison, Wisconsin. Also with me, Cedric Alexander, MSNBC senior law enforcement analyst. Kathy, I know we are expecting another police update next hour. What's the very latest we know now?
Chris, good afternoon. So I'm standing in front of the school turned crime scene. This is a small private Christian school attended by 420 students, and they were just days away from being released for their Christmas break. The shooting happened right before 11 a.m. yesterday. The shooter came in, killed, according to authorities, a teenage student as well as a teacher, injured 6 others. 2 of those students are still fighting for their lives in critical condition at this hour. We are anticipating another update later on this afternoon. Perhaps we'll get more information on the victims. We also know that 2 others were released overnight. We know that the 15-year-old shooter also died of a self-inflicted gunshot wound as she was being transported to the hospital. A handgun was recovered at the school. Meanwhile, we know that shots were fired, as you mentioned, in a classroom during study hall. This was a group mixed with different grades. A second grader, in fact, is the one who called 911, reporting that there was an active shooter. And coincidentally, Chris, there were officers nearby, roughly 3 miles away, practicing, training for an active shooter, and then this became their reality. They rushed over trying to help. As far as the investigation goes right now, we don't have a motive at this point. We know they are combing through the shooter's digital footprint leading up to the shooting. There's also an online document that they are reviewing as well. The parents of the shooter are cooperating, we're told. The father was interviewed for an extended period of time yesterday. But once again, another update is imminent. We're standing by for that. But the community, as you can imagine, they are traumatized and they are rallying behind the school. They're planning on holding another vigil later on this evening and making resources available to all those who are affected by this tragedy, Chris.
Kathy Park, thank you for that. Okay, Cedric, we are only in day 2 of this investigation. It seems obviously like they're trying to focus on finding out as much as they can about the shooter. They're going through her electronics. They're checking out these online writings. What do they do? What will help them piece together a motive to tell the story of how we got here?
Well, what they will do, Chris, is go back, certainly talk to friends, families, teachers, any environment this shooter may have been involved in. And there be what oftentimes is referred to and very rarely used as a psychological autopsy. And that is an opportunity to look and see what mental health history it may have been, both physically and mental health. Who was her social supports? What was the family dynamics? Et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Does she have a history of mental health illness? Or maybe that's not the case whatsoever. Maybe it just could have been a case of depression that came about as it relates to her being a young teenager that's growing and maturing, and we don't know what relationships may have been like for her over the course of time. But all these variables are going to be very important. And certainly, yes, you want to be able to look at the digital footprint, but what's going to be really important is going to be statements that's going to come from family and friends and school members to try to give some reasoning as to why this young girl was involved in such a tragic event as this. And I think over the next few days we will know more, but here again, we're still very early into this investigation. And I think the chief and his supports there from other agencies really have done a really dynamic job in terms of informing the community and informing the country in regards to how everything is unfolding still daily.
You mentioned how important it is for them to talk to the people who know her best. And as I mentioned, they've spoken to the parents who are said to be cooperating. What questions specifically would you have for them?
Well, I certainly would want to know from the family if there was a history of mental illness. Has anything changed in her behavior over the last number of days or weeks or months that was noticeable to the family? If so, how were they dealt with, if they were dealt with at all? And those are the same questions you also want to ask school officials, her teachers, her counselors, her friends she may have been close to. Was she a loner? Was she a gregarious kind of kid? Did she withdraw all of a sudden from others over a period of time, which may have suggested something could have happened in her relationships with people at school? All these are going to be important questions. And what will happen, Chris, as we answer one question and learn what occurred, of best be able to analyze what we can from that answer, it allows us to ask further questions that might be relevant in so to the a motive of this attack.
They said it was a whole lot of shootings that we haven't heard about this year, though. They said 300 and something shootings, if I'm not mistaken. They said 300 and something shootings. Man, that's crazy. We ain't been hearing about them. But I want to Google and see what are 323. It's only 365 days in a year. They haven't reported 323 school shootings, man. This is crazy. That's crazy. And they haven't reported all these shootings. Let me look and see what the nationality. I'm going to type that and see what I can come up with that. Like, hold up. School shootings. I'm going to Google that real quick. Hold up. School shootings. It's crazy. Let's see this here. School varies the type. They said from 19. Hold up. Now I gotta let y'all see this one. Hold up. Yeah, I gotta let y'all see this. I don't know if y'all can see this. It says the race and ethnicity of school shooters varies by type of school and time period. K through 12 schools from 1966 to 2024, 81% of mass shootings at K through 12 schools in the United States are identified as white, 13% as Native American, and 6% as Latin American. Do y'all see that shit right there? 81% of the mass shootings at schools are white people. This is crazy. So when I see this, right, black people, niggas, they want to go and kill each other. The white people want to go to the schools and shoot the schools up. So they're not making these big. It was 323 school shootings this year, and they haven't reported on all them. If they were black people shooting up these schools, I think we would have heard about every school shooting that happened. Me being honest. But when we see that it's 81% white people shooting the schools up, we don't even hear about the school shootings like that. 323 school shootings this year, and we're not hearing about all of them? Oh, my goodness. This how you know, man, they be picking and choosing like a motherfucker. Now, let me read the rest of this shit here. It says college and university school shootings. The most common race of mass shooters at college and universities was Asian, 44%, 33% white, and 11% black, and 11% Middle Eastern. This is some shit right here. Now, this is the statistics that they don't report, though. They don't report these statistics to the world. This is the shit you got to go Google yourself, because they don't want to make it look like these mass shootings are coming from white people. But we all know this shit. This is crazy. Between 1982 and September 2024, 54% of the mass shootings in the United States are carried out by white shooters. 17% African American, 8% Latino shooters. The majority of school shooters are white middle class males who live in suburb and rural areas. However, the shooter race is unclear in about 9% of the cases. Nah, they was white people. They don't want to say this shit though. They unclear? You saying 9% you didn't know who the hell these people are? Like, stop it, man. He said in a different time frame over which statistics are calculated make it difficult to draw conclusions. No, they just don't want to make the shit clear, man. That's the crazy thing. They just don't want to make it clear. But to understand that these mass shootings, 81% are done by white people, and they're not even reporting all these school shootings. 323 school shootings, and it's only 365 days in a year. Come on, man. This shit's deep. And they gonna say they need to figure out how to get this under control. Man, that shit ain't gonna never be under control, because the people that are doing these shootings, they living in the suburb and rural areas. Let's be real with this shit now. Nobody wants to be real and upfront and honest with this shit. These are the type of things they don't want to talk about to us. The public don't got the concern. But if it was black people going out and shooting all this shit up, they would have the backgrounds and the histories of why these people are doing what they doing. But these people that come from good homes, good backgrounds, as they would say, because they live in the suburb and the rural areas, they the ones doing all the fucking shootings. This is some crazy, crazy, crazy shit, man. But they don't say nothing about this shit, man. God damn. Like, we gotta be real, man. From 1966 to 2024, January, 81%. And now, I'm wondering why they don't have the data up till now. Let me see. Hold the fuck up. What does it say? Hold up, man. Like, this is some real live shit, man. Don't nobody want to pay attention to this shit, right? Man, fuck all that setting shit, man. Take all that shit off, man. God damn. Hold up. I want to see what this say. It say, between 1982 and September 2024, 82 out of 150 mass shootings in the United States were carried out by white shooters. By comparison, the perpetrator was African American in 26 mass shootings, and Latino is 12. When calculated as percentage, this amount is 54%, 17%, and 8%. So this is the shit that should be reported to us. Like, for real, we should understand this shit. Do y'all see this scale right here? I want y'all to see this damn scale right here. Do y'all see this? This says white. So this is showing you that all these school shootings is from white people. This shit ain't got nothing to do with niggas. Niggas is in the hood killing each other. And they okay with that shit. They all right with it. Y'all go and kill each other. We gonna keep y'all all in these projects crammed in with each other, and y'all continue to kill each other. That shit's cool. We all right with that. But they still ain't figured out how to stop these white people from shooting up the schools. This is some deep shit. You see this shit? Yo, it's crazy. So the white people just wake up and want to shoot up the damn schools, and they come from good backgrounds. So this is showing you that you can come from a good household. You can come from a good background. What does it mean? But it's not being publicized when we all see this shit. 323 school shootings this year. And I want to know, I'm going to try to Google and see how many they reported. I want to see how many they damn reported. It's crazy. I want to see how many was reported, though. How many was reported? Because they didn't report 323 school shootings this year. And I'm going to be real with that one. Wow. When we look at this shit here, it's deep, man. And it's like, we'll hear these shootings, and then a couple days later, we don't hear shit about it. They got Diddy in the fucking news every single fucking day. Every day, Diddy is in the fucking news, man. Big facts, man. I really gotta state that shit, man. Diddy is in the news every single day. They not talking about these 323 schools that have been shot up, and 82% is done by white people, man. If that's not bias, what is? If that's not bias, what is, man? Come on, man. Come on, man. Sheesh. Let me see here. 81%, man. That's crazy. So, it don't matter if you come from a good environment. That shit don't mean nothing. It don't matter. You can come from a good environment, right? And it doesn't mean anything. What does that mean? Because we see these people are coming from suburban areas. And they shot. This was a girl now. A 15-year-old girl killed these people in a Christian school. They practicing the Bible, They in the school praying, education. And she comes to school with a gun and shoots the whole school, man. The classroom. She just shoots everything up. Man. Black people will kill each other quick. They'll shoot each other down in a heartbeat, right? But these white people, they want to go to school and shoot up the classroom. Straight up. Shoot up the classroom. And they only talk about it for 2-3 days and that's it. Diddy got some allegations of doing whatever he supposedly allegedly did. And they talking about Diddy every single damn day. Every day they talking about Diddy. They should be talking about these damn school shootings every day. 323 of them. This is what we should be talking about every single day. The kids are supposed to be able to go to school to learn, education, strengthen the brain, right? They not talking about your kids is not safe going to school because of these white people. Don't nobody want to talk about that shit though. That shit's too much. That shit's too much like right to talk about. Your kids ain't safe going to school because white people. But when they tell you your kids ain't safe because African American walking through these neighborhoods and in these projects, that's okay. It's okay to talk like that. It's okay to talk about African Americans and why you shouldn't and how we should judge and, you know, how they stereotype us. But they gave so much leeway in these situations to the white people. They go into school, shoot the damn school up, and all you hear about is a day or two, clean it up, and that's it. All right, back to school like regular. Well, whenever the next school shooting happens, it happens. We know it's going to be some white person that got real upset about something, and they felt some type way, and they're going to shoot the school up. This is normal. Shit's crazy, man. This ain't what's talked about, though. That shit should be emphasized every day. Just how they doing Diddy shit. Diddy shit. The way they emphasizing Diddy shit should be these school shooters, man. 323 schools. That one fucked me up. I ain't even know. I thought they was going to say like 10 or 15 schools. It's 365 days in a year. That's damn near every day, damn near, that a school has been shot up this year. If you break that shit down, multiple times out the month. Multiple times out the month, schools have been shot up by white people. But that shit don't be emphasized, man. And that's how fucked up the world is, man. I ain't even gonna lie. They pick and choose who the fuck they want to destroy. You know what I'm saying? I really believe that shit. They really pick and choose who they want to destroy. I'm going to talk about this shit. I don't give a fuck. Straight up. I ain't sugarcoating shit. I ain't sugarcoating nothing. The schools ain't safe because these white kids. And that's just bottom line. Like it or not. Ain't no black kids going into school shooting it up like that. You don't hear that shit like that. Yeah, they gonna shoot their own people for whatever reason they got beef because everybody around that motherfucker broke. So you come from a rich family and you white, we gotta expect that you might shoot this motherfucker up. You might get upset and shoot the school up. This is what we gotta expect. And nobody want to talk about that shit. Nobody want to emphasize it. You know, these major platforms, these heavy hitters that get all the fucking attention. You feel what I'm saying? All these motherfuckers that get all the attention, they don't talk about this kind of shit. They emphasize anything that niggas do, but they don't talk about this shit. I'm about to start talking about this shit. Fuck them. Straight up. Your school ain't safe because these little white privileged kids. Straight up. That's why school ain't safe. We all need to understand that. We all need to understand that school isn't safe because privileged white kids are shooting the shit up. Bottom line. That's it. That's what it is. When you go to school, you're not worried about a black kid coming into school shooting it the fuck up. You worrying about a white kid. Nobody want to talk about that shit though. Nobody understands that. That's the shit we ignore. That's the shit we don't pay no attention to. Because it's little white kids that are privileged doing it. But if it was some struggling black kids, they would emphasize it. Pay attention to the CEO healthcare shooter. They want to emphasize about his educational background. It's acceptable. They got people praising this motherfucker. They got people literally praising this motherfucker for going through the school, going through the New York, sitting out there, laying on this motherfucker, out in New York, weeks ahead of time, and he shoots the healthcare worker. And they have people praising this shit. If a black person would have done that shit, they would have been talking down on this motherfucker like a motherfucker. And what it has me thinking, right? The motherfucker CEO shooter, he might get the fuck off. Straight up. He might get a fucking jury that agrees with the fuck he did. Because he's a privileged white boy. He comes from a rich family. So it's justifiable. But niggas out here struggling, it ain't justifying why we struggling and bugging. That shit has no meaning. Why would they do this? Why would they do this? No. But these little white motherfuckers going to school, shoot the school up. It's okay. It's cool. I'm going to keep it a bean, man. Fuck that shit. You know what I'm saying? And I got some white people that I fuck with. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be real. I got some white people that's cool. You know, that I'm all right with. I have no problem with them. But I don't like all the motherfuckers. I'm going to tell you that right now. For this reason right here. Privileged motherfuckers doing shit like this, but it don't get publicized the same. You feel me? And that's what's fucking foul. You got privileged white motherfuckers that it don't get publicized like this. I'm wondering when they're going to show the face of this little girl. She was 15 years old. And for whatever reason, whoever fucking made her mad, was talking about her, whatever, she felt that she needed to go get a gun and go in the school and just shoot the school, the classroom, and then kill herself. Shit's crazy. Shit's crazy. You see the different thinking though. The different thinking of these privileged kids and the kids that don't got nothing. The kids that don't got nothing, they trying to take what you got. That's how they getting shit. That's how they getting into situations. They want to steal what you got. They want to rob you because you got it. I don't, right? The privileged motherfuckers, they just want to be destructive, which is the white little kids, because they got too much and they was sheltered and privileged. So when they get into these schools and they got to fend for themselves in school and they got people talking about them and, oh, well, you shouldn't talk about me. Well, no, I come from a good background. I'm going to go get my gun and shoot everything in the classroom. But this is the shit that they don't talk about, man. Being real. I'm going to keep it a fucking bean, man. You know what I'm saying? It's my platform. I'm going to keep it a bean. Straight up. Whoever don't like it, so what? Straight up. It's crazy. Ain't no damn way they not talking about this shit. Saying the percentage. And then they have these big platforms, these motherfuckers that's reporting this shit to the news. They should be breaking down the percentage. We should understand that you got to be worried about little white kids in school, not black kids. When you go to school, you ain't got to worry about no Little black kids, what you got to worry about is them taking your lunch money. That's what you got to worry about them back. You ain't got to worry about them coming in there killing you. Think about this shit, man. But these are the things and the statistics that they not reporting to us. They not letting us know. Because they don't give a fuck, because it's them doing the shit. If it was niggas doing it, we would have a breakdown of this shit. We would know the percentage of niggas doing it. And that's real shit. Don't nobody want to talk about that shit though. That ain't something they want to emphasize on. And that's all these major platforms, man. All these major platforms, ain't nobody talking about this school shooting with these white kids. All these heavy hitters out here that got all this following and shit. Ain't nobody talking about that shit. Ain't nobody emphasizing that shit. That shit don't mean nothing. Because they just want to talk about the niggas. That's why I'm talking about both of these motherfuckers. Whatever's going on, I ain't limiting. I'm not saying, I ain't talking about that. Nah, we got to talk about these white kids, privileged, living in these suburban areas, are the ones you got to worry about in school. Those are the ones you got to worry about if they going to come to school and take your fucking life. Not take your lunch money. Not beat you the fuck up. Niggas might beat you up, take your lunch money, and then run off. The white motherfucker want to stand there and shoot the fucking school up, everybody in the school, and then take the gun and put it to their head. Nah, you fucking coward. You fucking coward. Motherfuckers go to school to get an education, right? Damn. And you got to worry about dying from a privileged white kid. That's what you got to worry about. And don't nobody want to emphasize that shit. All these sucker ass platforms out here. Nah, man. God damn. I sit there and think about that shit, man. That shit's crazy, man. That shit's fucking crazy, man. Don't nobody want to emphasize that shit. Shit say it right here. Plain as fucking day, man. The race and ethnicity of school shooters varies by the type of school and the time period. K through 12. And I want to see what the update's going to be this year. That matter of fact, that let me type that in Google. Hold on. Let me type that shit in. You hear me? Let me type that in Google so we can see what the fuck that says. School shooter. What are the nationality ethnicities of 2024? Fuck this shit. Straight up. Fuck this shit. Let's see what this say, y'all. Hold up. Of this year. Nah. As of September 2024. Alright. So this shit ain't adding up right. This shit ain't sounding right. I'm not even gonna lie to y'all. This shit ain't sounding, because the numbers they just told me that it was 323 school shootings this year. This shit ain't adding up. This says mass shootings. I'm saying school shootings, motherfucker. You see how Google, this is the shit Google will do, right? Google will tell you a lot of information, but when you type some shit in about the white people, it's like they redirect you. They change the fucking wording. This is what's fucked up. How we gonna change the wording when I just type the fucking school shootings? What are the ethnicities and nationalities of 2024? These motherfuckers ain't say nothing about the school. It says the race and ethnicity of shooters of mass shootings. We're not talking about fucking mass shootings. I didn't type in mass fucking shooting. I typed in school shootings. But they don't want to break that shit down, I guess, this year yet. This is the fucked up shit. They don't want to break this down. I said school shootings. And I'm going to try to type it in and see if I can hit it again, if it do something different. It still came up mass shootings. That's how you know this shit fucked up, man. No cap. Big facts. Come on, man. It's been some mass shootings, some niggas done bugged out, but we talking about school. Niggas is not going into the schools like these white folks and shoot the fucking school up for nothing. Come on, man. Come on, man. You got to be fucking with niggas for them to do that kind of shit, man. You did something to them. But what we see here, they don't want to show it. They want to keep that shit, under wraps. Mass shootings. I said school shootings. Straight up. Let me see. Hold on. Let me type this shit in because this shit be having me hot, man. How the world is, man. That's why I don't fuck with nobody anyway. The world ain't shit, man. They be making us believe and think shit that ain't even true, man. Straight up. School shootings 2000. Let me see. Hold on, man. This shit just be having me hot. I ain't gonna lie. Shit just be having me hot. Let me see. That shit just be having me hot, man. How many school shootings in 2024? They say 323 in a database. Now what I am going to type in, right? I'm going to say, all right, hold on. Let me see. Hold on. I'm going to let y'all see too. Hold on. How many? I'm going to let y'all see it too. I got to let y'all see it too. All right. I got to let y'all see it too. All right. So it says it right here. 323 school shootings in the U.S. this year, database says. All right. 323. It says it right here. 323 school shootings in the database. This is what they collectively collected, right? So now I'm going to try to type again, and I'm going to try to type it in a different wording to see if it comes up better, right? Now, hold up. I'm going to try typing in how many school shootings in 2024. Let me see. I'm going to type it in a little different. I'm going to say out of let me take the caps off. I don't want to holler at the computer. Let me see. Out of 323 school shootings, how many? Hold on. How many were white? Fuck that shit, man. Don't nothing come up. Hold the fuck up, man. Like, come on, man. This be that bullshit. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. I ain't even gonna lie to you, man. Crazy. Come on, man. Crazy. Let me see. I'm going to type black on it and see if they do something different. Yeah. I guess they don't want to tell us that. That's not something that they want to reveal to us. Now, you can ask Google any damn thing, but they don't want to reveal this to us? Yeah. Just know when you take your ass to school, you got to worry about a little privileged white kid coming and shooting the shit up. So, people that want to go to those good schools and shit like that, and you want to be in a good area, that's what you got to worry about. You get a better education, but you risking your goddamn life. So it's like, damn, either you get a good education over here and risk your life, or you go over here and education's not that good and you fighting. Man, but this should be in the database. Like real fucking rap. This should be in the database, man. This is the shit they don't tell us, they keep from us, man. We should know. And hopefully at the end of the year, I'm going to type it in again. But I know these numbers going to be wrong. Because white people control this shit. This ain't controlled by no damn niggas. You know what I'm saying? Straight up. They should be honest, though. When the niggas is out of control, they let it be known. These niggas is out of control. They out of control. But we got 323 shootings. Think about that shit. And 81% of them, they say, they got that percentage, is white. 81. I wanted to know the exact number, though. That's what I was looking for. I was trying to Google what is the exact number of white people and black people. Nah, this is the shit they not telling us, man. You hear me? They'll keep this from us because it makes sense. Make sure you keep these people not understanding, and that's the best thing for them. I'm going to keep it a bean, man. DZ going to keep it a bean. Like it or not, nigga. Fuck it. Straight up. Because ain't no damn way that this ain't reported as in it's a white problem. They know how to tell you when it's an African American problem, when it's a black problem, right? They know how to tell you that. But they don't know how to tell you that the schools is unsafe because little white kids. The schools is not unsafe because of black kids. Not at all. It's unsafe to go to the projects, yes, because little black kids. Definitely. Don't go around no motherfucking project and you a little white kid and go in there with the black kids. Then you gonna get your ass whooped. Right, we understand that. But when you go to school for your education, you gotta worry about a little white kid shooting this motherfucker up. And let's be real. 81% are being shot up because of little white kids. This ain't the shit that they emphasizing though. They not emphasizing this to us when they should. When we watching all these major platforms do all these interviews about this, and then they all in our culture, right? Especially these white people, right? They got all the white people in our culture dictating and saying how our culture is, right? And having all the opinion on our culture. But they don't want to say that the white kids is the one shooting up the school, not these black kids. All these motherfuckers, man. That's because they all programmed. And you got to be programmed to get to that level. Pay attention. Make the little white kids still look good. Make sure that they still look good when they the ones that you got to worry about when you go to school. When you go to school for the day, you need to be checking how many white kids is in your class. You need to ask your kids, do you have any problem with the white kids in there? Do you feel uncomfortable with the white kids? Not do you feel uncomfortable with the black kids? Because you know with the black kids, you're going to have a rumble. And now I'm starting to see like, damn, they find guns on black kids all the time. A kid might take a gun to school, but he ain't pulling that motherfucker out to shoot the classroom up. He got the gun on him in case he need to protect himself from somebody around. If you think about it. But the white kid coming to the school with a mission with this motherfucker. When they got that biscuit in their hand, they coming to the school on a mission to take some motherfuckers out. A black kid would come to the school with a gun and it'd be in his damn book bag all day, and he'll end up telling somebody he got the damn gun and they'll catch the gun. The white kid will come to the school, don't tell nobody about this damn gun, walk dead in the school and shoot everybody in the goddamn classroom. But these major platforms ain't talking about that shit though. These heavy platforms with these million followers, I should start just screaming on all these niggas. Straight up. I should just start screaming on all these niggas. These niggas got all this attention on our culture from different things and these different music and these different allegations and sexual this and that. But they ain't talking about this shit with these little white kids that's shooting everything the fuck up. That's what fucks me up. It really fucks me up. Straight facts, Celine. Straight up, man. That shit fucks me up. And we watching this shit. It was 323 school shootings. And can't nobody tell me right now that they heard of 323 shootings this year? Nobody. We heard of some school shootings, but nobody can tell me that's on this channel watching or any fucking channel that they heard of 323 school shootings. And majority came from white kids. This is what fucks me up. And when you talk about that shit, don't nobody want to talk about it. Don't nobody want to speak on it. That's why this shit continues to happen. It's the motherfuckers living in the rural and the suburban areas that are going into the schools where the education is supposed to be taught and shooting the motherfucker up. Not no niggas. Not at all. Not no niggas. But when they are talking about this shit in the news every day about Puffy, Puffy did this, Puffy did that, send Puffy to jail. That's all you hear these little white motherfuckers saying. Straight up. Send Puffy to jail. Puffy needs to be in jail. And you got little black bitches saying the shit too. Puffy needs to be in jail. Puffy needs to be in jail. Well, what about the motherfucking white kids that's going to shoot the school up? What about them? What about their parents? That's the fucked up shit. And nobody wants to address that shit. Everybody want to act like that shit's not happening. When it was 323 schools shot up this year. And can't nobody tell me, can't nobody name 10 schools that been shot the fuck up. You know why? Because they talk about it real lightly and then it goes the fuck away. But we heard about Puffy for the last year. You know why? Because the white people were paying to promote that shit. You know that, right? I want y'all to know this shit. We're going to keep it a beam, man. White people are paying to promote this shit with Puffy, Jay-Z, any motherfucker. And then I'm going to tell you something else, y'all. I'm going to tell my people something else. It's some white brothers, right? That they allegedly, real estate dudes, taking coochie, drugging them. They not talking about them motherfuckers like Puffy. I'm about to talk about them, though. They might be on tomorrow or tonight on this motherfucker. Straight up. Ain't nobody emphasizing that shit. They got no bail just like Puffy. They're incarcerated with no bail. Nobody talking about this shit, though. You can see how they do. They only pick and choose who they want to fucking destroy. We need to destroy these fucking suburban rural areas where these privileged ass white kids is at. Fuck that. Let's destroy that shit. Let's put that information out there. Those are the ones you got to watch around your fucking kids. You ain't got to watch these motherfucking niggas. Because you know why? The white people are teaching their kids about guns before they even old enough to get them. And then they wonder why they got these fucking guns. Because the parents is teaching these motherfuckers at 11, 12 years old how to shoot a fucking gun in their backyard. Nobody saying shit about this shit, though. This ain't nothing to be talked about. That's too much like right. Yeah, definitely. They not talking about the Amber Compton dude. Yeah, they not talking about the twins. They not talking about these motherfuckers. But we hear about Puffy every single fucking day because they want to make sure that they crucify him. But we not hearing shit about these motherfucking school shooters that are teenagers going into school and shooting shit up. That shit's crazy. Real shit. I'm gonna rock that shit one day and I'm gonna go hard than a motherfucker on it. I ain't gonna lie. I don't give a fuck who don't like it. You know what I'm saying? The white people that I fuck with, that I speak to, y'all alright with me. But I ain't sugarcoating that these motherfuckers get privileged on certain situations, man. I'm not gonna sugarcoat that shit. They get privileged on these situations, man. And they know they are the cause of these schools being shot up. They know this shit. They are the fucking cause. Niggas ain't the cause of this shit, but that's not a big topic though. But when they talk about celebrities doing these certain shit, they got niggas at the face of this shit when white people doing this shit too. That's the fucking crazy shit. When they talk about celebrities doing shit, drugging and all that shit, They only talk about niggas. Niggas is the focus. Yes, black people. When they got white people doing the same shit, man. It's just their shit's pushed to the side. Same shit with the shooter, the CEO nigga. The CEO white guy. People were praising this motherfucker. I didn't even think they was going to praise him. You got white people coming on TV. You hear me? This motherfucker done shot down a person from behind. Assassinated this guy. And you got white people coming on TV saying, hey man, the healthcare system is fucked up. Yep. The healthcare system is fucked up. Yeah, maybe some things will change now. Now, if niggas started going out there doing that kind of shit, right? The white people would be in fear. And now it would be a fucking problem. Don't nobody want to talk about that shit though. Don't nobody want to be real and be honest and upfront about that shit, right? People will say, oh, you making it a black and a white thing. Nah, I'm just being fucking real. I'm being straight up and honest about this shit. Because this is what the fuck is going on. This is what's going on in America. We only hear about the shit they want us to hear about. They only emphasize the shit they want to emphasize. Why isn't it all over every fucking outlet that a 15-year-old white girl killed people in school where you're supposed to go get your goddamn education? Why? This is what we should be hearing every fucking second of the news right now. But we know how common it is. They said from 1966 until right now, it's been common that white people go into schools and shoot this motherfucker up. Nobody want to talk about that shit though. That ain't something for somebody to care about, I guess. Because it's white people doing it, right? But if niggas was doing that shit, you'll know. If a nigga get caught with a gun in a school, you hear about that shit. They put that shit right on the news. Oh man, guy got caught with a gun in his backpack. Got caught with a gun in his backpack. Oh man, yeah. Locked him up. Got another one off the street, man. We got a gun off the fucking street. That shit's fucking crazy, man. Straight up, man. I'm not even gonna lie. And I'm looking at it like, man, I feel some type way. I ain't even gonna hold you, man. I'm feeling type way about a lot of this shit, man. This old biased shit, man. That's why I just stay the fuck away from people, man. It's a lot of biased shit in the world, man. The white people hold all of these positions, right? And they take advantage of this shit. Their kids is the ones going into school shooting the shit the fuck up. They don't emphasize it. Niggas go to court in front of these judges and get crucified. A white motherfucker go in front of the judge, got a rape charge, he get probation. Nigga go in front of the court with an allegation that isn't even true, and they say, fuck it, we send this motherfucker to jail. He gets no bail. White motherfucker get the same shit. They allow this motherfucker go home on house arrest. And if they don't, they ain't emphasizing the shit. They not making sure that the world sees it for what it is. And that's what's fucked up. Really though. That's what's fucked up. That's fucked up, man. Just know though, your kids going to school, they got to be worried about the white people in the school, not niggas. Straight up. Some crazy shit, man. It's some crazy shit. Your life is at risk going to school because a privileged white kid might be upset that day. These niggas ain't talking about that shit. None of these big niggas talking about that shit, man. I should start calling all these niggas the fuck out. Every one of them. I should make a list. That should be a live I should do this week. And just start going hard all day talking about these motherfuckers. That should be my mission. None of you faggots, tender dickheads is talking about it. None of them. None of them. They not talking about this shit. Because they don't give a fuck. They only want to follow the lead and figure out how they can destroy black people to make sure that they stay relevant. This is the game. I'm talking about everybody, nigga. Ain't nobody exempt over here. Straight up. Ain't nobody exempt. Everybody getting the heat. It's fucked up, though. But we see for what it is. In these rural and suburban areas, you got to worry about a little white kid getting mad. You got to worry about how he feel. Did he wake up on the wrong side of the bed? Is he going to come in there with his daddy's gun and shoot everything the fuck up? That's what you got to worry about. A nigga beat you the fuck up. Be a different story. He came to school with a chip on his shoulder. He want to punch you upside your fucking head. Right? We know this shit. Honestly. We got to be honest on this shit. A nigga come to school mad about something that happened at home and punch you upside your motherfucking head. A white kid will get mad because their parents took their PlayStation from them, told them they couldn't go outside, and come in there and shoot the fucking school up because of that shit. Let's be real. That's a different conversation. Niggas don't want to talk about that. Right? All these major platforms. I'm telling you, I'm about to sit a list down and just go hard on all these motherfuckers. Every fucking platform that's not emphasizing this shit, that's emphasizing Diddy shit. And that's what I might do tonight. Go sit down and look and see who every fucking platform that's talking about this shit, and I start just naming them motherfuckers. Because they not talking about these little privileged, sick-ass white kids that's going into school shooting this motherfucker up. At all. That's not what they worried about. And it's been going on, they said, since 1966. Well, that's what the statistics is saying on Google. And you know, these white people run the shit, so that's their platform, you know, that we're on. So, of course, they only going to give us what the fuck they want to give us. You know what I'm saying? Real shit, CoinHawk. Real shit. And I ain't got nothing against motherfuckers that are open-minded and see things the real way. But them motherfuckers that be fabricating shit, fuck them. Straight up. They want to fabricate this shit. You know what I'm saying? Privileged little motherfuckers, man. That's who you got to worry about, though. And I'm going to keep that a fucking bean. You got to worry about privileged little white kids when your kids go to school. And you know who they got on the news crying? Black parents. Oh, my kid. But y'all niggas don't see that this the white motherfuckers doing it? You want to send your kid to the good school, right? That's where you want your kid at, right? Well, you better know the good school is where you got to worry about your kid getting murdered. In school. In school. Think about this shit, man. It's the Christian school that got shot up. Now, these kids are going to school and they're talking about God and Jesus every fucking day. Let's be honest. A privileged school studies the Bible. A Christian school, they study the Bible every single day. Every day now. Christian schools. But this is the school you got to worry about your kid dying in. Niggas ain't talking about this shit, though. This is too much for the world. Nah, we just gonna overlook this shit. Right? But they tear all the communities down where the niggas at. Right? Tear them shits down. Niggas is there, tear it down. We need to get on this shit, man. And I really think we need to talk about that shit more. That shit needs to be talked about more. All these major platforms should be talking about it. But you know what it is? They not going to get no views with that shit. You know what I'm saying? It'd be like me. Your channel be light. You feel what I'm saying? Your channel be light. Because niggas don't want to share that shit. Niggas don't want to put that information out there. They okay with it until they kid get killed in the school. That's when a nigga want to register with it. Oh man, they killed my baby. What I'm gonna do now? Nah, nigga, this was going on. You wanted to go to the privileged school. You think that going to a better school was the answer. That's what you niggas think. But you gotta worry about that white kid that woke up upset. Dad told him they on punishment. Mom told him they couldn't do something. Dad told him they ain't gonna buy him something. Dad told him they couldn't have something. These the motherfuckers that kill their parents and shit like that. You feel what I'm saying? These the motherfuckers. Go to school, kill their parent, go shoot the school up, all that crazy shit. That's the shit you gotta worry about. But don't nobody talk about that shit. And these are real life things. But these people will emphasize some made up shit. You feel what I'm saying? They will emphasize some shit that they don't have no proof of, some made up shit, just to get the fucking attention. You know what I'm saying? You right, the algorithm won't get the views up. Straight up. But you know what I'm going to do though, CoinHawk? I'm going to continue to be me, right? And hopefully I'll be able to push through my way. I can't be a fabricated motherfucker. I never, when I was out in the street world and shit, I never was a fabricated motherfucker. So I can't get on these platforms and be fabricated, man. I can't do it, man. You know what I'm saying? I haven't found myself to do it, you know? I don't know if I could do it one day in the future, but I haven't found myself there yet. And that's maybe why I'm slowly growing. You feel me? That may be why I haven't grew fast. You know what I'm saying? But I gotta be me, man. I see it for what it is, man. They not emphasizing the real when we all see what the fuck it is. Literally. It's like when you see real shit, that's the shit that they make you think, well, is it? Like, are we paying attention to that? When we see some real shit that is right in front of us and it's right there, it's like, even like with the girl with the allegations, we all can see that this bitch is lying, but it still has people on the fence like, well, maybe there's other victims. Well, maybe this is the shit that they do to our mental. This is what they do to our fucking mental. You said your title is great because it hits the Jay-Z and the 15-year-old girl. And listen, and I'm hoping, right? Because sometimes when I do these videos, right, they'll push my shit like 2 or 3 days later. I've noticed that. They won't push my shit from the door. I won't get the push from the door. So hopefully 2-3 days later, this shit will get out and the motherfucker be done watch through it and they'll catch this part because I hit this shit at the end of the video. But I am going to start doing more videos geared towards this because this is not what's talked about. You know what I'm saying? This shooting just happened yesterday. And this shit's not boasted as it would be if it was a Jay-Z or Puffy shit. You feel me? If it was a Jay-Z or a Puffy shit from me saying like the negative, oh yeah, if I'm saying Jay-Z's guilty, Puffy's guilty, oh, everybody want to share it. Everybody, oh, let me share this shit. Let me share it. Yeah, Jay-Z and Puffy guilty. Yeah, they need to go to jail. That's all people saying. After they hear all this shit with the woman lying and saying that, yeah, she lied about this, but the main thing is I was raped. So people say, oh, yeah, she said it. Man, come on, man. That's because she white, man. I ain't even gonna lie, man. That's because she white, man. Ain't no way they would have allowed a black lady to sit up there and knowing she's lying like that and keep pushing that shit. It's a fucking game of life, man. Straight up. It's a game of life, man. And as I've got older, I've started to understand this shit a little bit. And I understand that people are just fucked up, man. That's what it is, man. They just fucked up, man. You expect your kid to go to a good school. This is what people expect. Oh, I'm going to pay for the school because that school that just got shot up, people pay for their kids to go to school there. That's a fucking private school. There's 400 and something kids in that school. 400 and something kids in this school. These are all privileged kids, black and white, Asian, whatever they are. These are all privileged kids in this school. Straight up. And it was a little privileged ass little girl that was upset about something, and she came to school and shot the shit up. Straight up. They need to charge the parents. Fuck it. Charge the parents, man. Let them feel the shit. They did in that one situation, I can say that. They charged the parents. Kid came to school, shot the shit up, they charged the parents. Fuck it. Charge the fucking parents, man. Maybe these white people will stop agreeingly letting the kids shoot guns as little kids. Crazy shit. White people will go buy their kids a gun at 16, 17. Like, for what? The fuck do they need a gun for? They don't even know how to fucking fight yet. What do they need a gun? And they wonder why these results come out the way they do. They wonder why they go shoot some shit up. You taught them how to shoot a gun, so as soon as they get fucking mad, their idea is what they're hearing in the fucking house, because you already know these white people in the house talking to their kids about shooting shit up like it's okay. Straight up. And we got to be real. So they hear the shit in the house, and think about it. When they go through something, they ain't going to tell their parents, I'm going to go get the gun and shoot the shit up. They just go get the gun and shoot the shit up. We hear it on the news for 1 or 2 days, and that's it. Mass shooter. School shooting. Oh well. But I'm paying attention to this shit. I see for what it is. I can't fabricate it, sugarcoat it. It is what it is, man. And it's fucked up. Because these people were paying for their fucking kids to go to this school. You literally paid for your kid to go to school and die. Your kid could have went to school for free. Might have got a couple ass whoopings. Your kid could have went to school for free and might have got a couple ass whoopings. And as we see now, education is a good thing. It is a good thing, right? But there's people with no fucking education that's on top doing their thing out here now. So you pay for your kid to go get an education, and the people that you pay for your kids to be around, you got to worry about them killing you? Don't nobody want to talk about that shit, though. That shit too much for people. That shit there too much for people. Real shit, though, man. I'm seeing it for what it is, and I understand it for what it is, man. You got to watch out for these little white privileged kids sending your kids to them private schools, man. Straight up. That's who you got to watch out for. You ain't got to watch out for the niggas. Niggas ain't coming in there shooting nothing, man. They don't give a fuck. They smack you upside your fucking head. That's what they gonna do. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. You made me mad. I'm mad at somebody that I was dealing with in the street. I'm gonna smack the shit out of you. They not thinking about taking your fucking life because they're upset. That's the shit of a white little kid. Privileged, suburban, rural area, white kid. Now you want to kill a motherfucker because you upset. Go out there and fight, motherfucker. Get your ass whooped. Go out there and throw your fucking hands up. Nah, they don't want to do that though. They rather go into the school and destroy people that ain't got nothing to do with this shit. And we see this shit, but they don't tell us about it like they should. And for it to be 323 schools that's been shot the fuck up and we don't hear about this shit, you know what the fuck it is, man. You know why they don't talk about it like that, man. Come on, man. We heard about the CEO kid shooting this shit up, right? Now they see people are agreeing with this shit. They ain't talking about that shit like that. Y'all ain't seeing that shit, huh? They talked about that shit for 5 days till they found this motherfucker. Once they found him, they left it the fuck alone, man. Straight up. That's what I'm talking about. The Luigi shooter went to a $40K a year high school in Baltimore in an Ivy League college. And people are praising his ass. You hear me? They didn't stop talking about this motherfucker. If this shit was Puff Daddy, man, we'd hear this shit every second. Being real. If this was Puffy, we hear it every second. Puffy ain't killed the soul. Allegedly. I don't know what the fuck the nigga did, right? But they talking about some other shit. But the Luigi guy, you see what they talking about with him. Nothing no more. Next time we'll hear about him is when he go to court. That's the next time we'll hear about him. They told us about the notes he had. They told us how smart he was. They told us what college he was in. They told us that his classmate talked to us. All his classmates said how good he was, how smart he was, what type of person he was. That's what all his classmates said, right? Luigi. All his classmates. Oh, man, yeah, man, I didn't think he was going to be like that. These are the motherfuckers going to go kill you. These are the motherfuckers you got to worry about. Come on, man. Niggas going to go around the hood and kill each other. They know this shit. The design is design. They create the rap music, niggas killing each other. The privileged motherfucker family got all the money. You take something from them, get them restrictions. Somebody gotta fucking die. I gotta fucking die. I'm gonna kill everybody. And some of them kids be saying that shit to their parents, right? And their parents don't even report it. They just brush it off. Oh, man, you'll be all right. Go ahead, sit down somewhere. Everything's gonna be all right, man. Just cool off, dude. Just cool the fuck off. And then the motherfucker go shoot everything the fuck up. Privilege, man. Those are the people that you have to worry about, man. Them privileged kids, man. And they don't talk about it enough when they should, man. They don't fucking emphasize this shit, man. Straight up. And like I said, I was typing that shit in there, right? Trying to find this shit, right? Where the fuck my damn mouse go? There we go. All right. Yeah. I was typing it in there trying to find this shit, right? And they won't let me type this shit in. Let me see. Let me see if I can type it in again. I might get lucky. How many schools shoot? Let me see how many was there in 2023. And they ain't saying that. I'm trying to see how many was in 2023. It's like certain things they like stop the records on. It's like they don't want to say certain shit. And they want to change it to mass shooting. Now, I'm not talking about mass shooting, man. They have a record on this school shooting shit. Straight up. How many school shootings? Let me see. Maybe I got to type were. Because, goddamn. Like, come on, man. And it's crazy when you see this shit, man. Let me see. Yeah. They don't say nothing. We just know that it was the all we know that it was the 323rd in the country this year. That's all we know. And in Wisconsin, it was the deadliest ever. Crazy shit, man. Let's see what the fuck this database say. How many schools from 1960 since president? I guess they don't want to tell us this. So last year it was 349. Last year it was 349 school shootings. And they got this shit here at 325. That shit said 323. Year before that it was 308. So this shit done increased. This shit done increased since COVID. Right before COVID. So 2018, 19, right? Is that 18? Yeah, that's 18. That's 2018. It was 119 school shootings. So this shit went up. It started to go up in 2018. That's what we seeing. 2018, it was 119. 2019, 124. 2020, 116. 2000. So now this is after COVID. Now, when we go back to school after COVID, it was a lot of depressed motherfuckers. And we got to be honest. Because look at that. We go back to school in 2021, there was 257 school shootings. 257 now. Hold up. 2022, 308 school shootings. Shit's crazy, man. And majority of this shit is coming from white kids. But they not talking about this shit, man. Crazy. They not talking about this shit, man. Straight up. Oh, man. Your boy DZ been rocking with y'all today. I appreciate everybody that watches the channel. I appreciate everybody that subscribed to the channel. And I hope y'all continue to watch the channel. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button. Hit that like button. I appreciate it, man. And we'll be back tomorrow, man. I appreciate it, man. And y'all already know, it's not about the setback. It's about the get back. Nah.